City of Port Richey Centennial Committee meeting
Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. I stand for pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clark, could I have a roll, please?
Chairman John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Caroline Gonzalez.
Here.
Member Sally Carey. Yep. Member Adam Thompson.
Here.
Member Julie Keenan.
Here.
Member Cheryl Taylor. Let the record show that Member Cheryl Taylor is absent from today's meeting. Member Kim LaCarey.
Here.
Member Debbie Robinson.
Here.
And Member Janet Applefield.
Here.
Thank you. First up, comments from the general public. Do we have any comments from the general public? Seeing none, I'll come back. Comments from a chair and committee members. I'll start to my right with Member Thompson.
So the only thing I really have is, I guess we'll talk about the budget, but I got an updated budget. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But also, I'm going to pass these around. These are the web ID for payments. If you want to make payment, there's an address on here, cityofportritchie.gov. You go in there if you want to make a payment from home and put in the 7669 web ID. And you can also do by phone, and there's a number on here to do it by phone using the same web ID. So I'll pass these around to everybody. There you go.
So is that going to be incorporated in the flyers, I guess? Is there a link or something?
If you guys want to put them in the flyer, absolutely. She's making the flyers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to put them in the flyers.
Sure.
Oh, you can pay by phone as well.
Yeah, pay by phone, but 1-800 number or 188 number, and then.
So you just go to the actual city website, and then there's a payment option on there or something?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it a QR code?
It's a web ID. They'll ask you for a web ID, and that's what that 7669 is. Put that in there, and all it does is go in a single bucket so that we can account for it. That's all.
And does it attach the payer to it? So like
They'll put their name and information in there.
okay. So you'll be able to track who it was that paid it, I guess.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what? So if I was going to put this on my,
What's the
so
actual
if I was going to put this on my tournament flyer, what do I write?
You can write make payments through the cityofportritchie.gov website using web ID 7669, or you can pay by phone 844 that number there, and then with that web ID number. Yeah.
What is the payment?
So
Could we-
make payments. Can you say that again?
Why don't we?
Hang on, I'll get that.
Can we do a QR code that takes them right to the payment thing on the website,
It's this.
Yeah, we can do that.
No.
and that way they just scan it and they can go and pay?
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
Similar to what we do with bowling flyers.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't need to put that on a bowling flyer, but all the other flyers, if
Yeah,
they could have a
QR code.
QR
Okay.
code.
That way they don't have to write down the web address and the actual address to go to the payment site. We'll just include it in the QR code. And then if any questions,
So-
please contact City of Port Richey.
So I guess it would take them to how do I, and you go to pay a bill or fine, right?
Right. Yeah. They'll put their name and stuff. Use this web.
And then click here to pay your utility bill online,
Right.
which is portritchie.billingdoc.net/login. And then it's one-time payment, I guess?
Yes.
So if you take them right to the one-time payment with Express Pay, that's where they would, and I don't know if the QR code can pre-fill that web ID or not. Probably not.
Probably. I would not. So I would put that web ID in.
QR code and instead use this web ID.
Yeah, because that's this web ID is just to that. I mean, you probably could because it just goes to that. Well, yeah, probably not. I'd put that web ID underneath the QR code.
Yeah, I don't.
Can we make it specific to each event? So like for the
No,
flea
it's all
market,
all
it's
same.
all in.
So if they there is information they can put in there. So if they're paying the $75 for the business expo, I'd put that in there. And that way, when I reconcile that out, because we have to go in there and push it to whatever account. When I reconcile that out, I'll know that it goes to, and I'll account for it on the our budget sheet here. But yeah, if they just put what it's on there, if they want to sponsor, they can say that. If they're paying for the bowling league, make sure they put that in the information. And that's really all they need is their name and what the money is for and how much.
What about the first three characters of the first or last name on the statement? Do they put anything in that box?
I mean, they could put. I mean,
No, I mean, this is like how you log in to make the payment. It says first three characters of the first or last name on your statement, and then under that is the web ID, and then you start your.
Oh yeah. So they wouldn't have that. So
Just leave that blank.
Yeah. So this is a little bit different than how you pay your bill. So sorry. So they wouldn't have that on here because this is like a dump bin for payments and stuff like that. So this is how we do our golf cart payments. And
Oh
stuff
no, but
like
it's when
Yeah,
you go to
you don't
pay,
need
it's
that.
on this website. So
right. You don't need that on
blank.
this one. No.
Then how would we use that to separate out, which would be more work for you? Like who's enrolling for the bowling tournament, who's enrolling for the fishing tournament, who's
That's what I'm
enrolling
saying.
for
In that, they should put that. So if
as a
they're doing the
reference.
bowling, they can say, "Hey, here's $100 towards the bowling." And then when I have to physically go in there and put that towards Centennial, and then when I put it in the system, I'll put bowling. But I'll
No,
also
I'm talking about entries. So if someone's going to enter the fishing tournament, or if they're going to sign up for the flea market, or if they're going to sign up to run on, to register for that. I mean, how do
Isn't
we
there a-
separate that?
Isn't there a registration for that?
Well, there's a couple ways to separate it. One, for instance, bowling is $100, right? So we know what that's going to be. So most $100 payments probably made within the next week or so is going to be towards the bowling tournament. Even if someone doesn't remember to put their name or information, if it's $100, it's more or less a bowling tournament. But then we'll be able to track that back and contact them if we have to. So we can go back on that. Because when they put in their information, they'll either leave a number or an email or something that we can backtrack and find them on. But most of our fees are going to be like, what's the entry fee for the
I have
fishing?
no idea.
Okay, so whatever we get to that as we get closer, if it's $75, we know that most 75 incoming payments are more or less going to be to that. If we have ones that are crossing, we as a committee can decide. Well, we've got the fishing tournament at $75, but maybe this other event will be it's $35. Then that way we definitely know if a $35 payment is going to that event and the $75 payment going to that. But that's only if someone doesn't put in their information. But more likely everyone will. We usually don't have that issue when it comes to when they submit it for a billing payment.
I'm not as concerned about that. I'm more concerned about how do I get a roster of who's paid.
So two things I can do. One, I put it on here. This will show you how many registered or how many you had registered. So that'll show us that. But also when I put it in our system to track it, there's a note section down there. So when I print out the receipt for these, which I'll do separate, I won't add it to anything else. I'll put it on there. Robert Koppler, whatever the case may be, and bowling. So I mean that's about as close as I can get to a roster for you as I can. So like if I get 5 different payments for the one for the business expo, one for the bowling alley, one for the boating, I can put it in there and say, okay, Nancy Grace bowling, Robert Thompson boating. I mean that's about the closest I can get it for that type of thing, unless there's some kind of registration that's going to come with it. I don't know. Did we have a registration application that we're doing?
For the job form.
For the job form, yeah. So unfortunately, right now, that's the way we can do it, because if you're paying at home, I can't track you. But if you come in here, I can sign it and say, hey, Adam Thompson signed up for this. But if you're paying from home, which is what we wanted this convenience for, then I can't track that except what they put on the information on there, unless they turn in some other way. If that makes sense.
Right now, like going on this website doesn't work. Right now, going on this, it does not work.
You have to enter like the 3 digits.
So, like if you just do the 7669 and you start a payment, please fill out this field. I put like my last name, start payment. It says there's no match in our database. Try
No,
again.
it's pulling against the utility database, I guess.
That's not because we take payments from the for golf cart registration on there and a bunch of other stuff. It's just a dump.
Well, what do you put in for the 3 characters?
I was told you didn't have to put anything in there, but
Yeah, it's not
It,
letting
it doesn't.
It forces you to put something in there.
let me verify that tomorrow, or which the lady's already gone. So
And actually, let's see.
Because I'm in the city of Port Ridge utility bills, so it should pull me up, which that's why I'm.
Do you do anything with these web forms, or is that George?
Everybody
Or
could-
No, but it's not going to pull yours, Julie, because
for
your
that payment web form?
the web ID is different, Julie.
Okay, so I just confirmed with you.
One second. We got one time.
Sorry.
I just confirmed with utility billing. The first three characters is CIT. So we'll include that.
CIT?
Yeah, we'll include that in the information because the account is a City of Port Richey account. So the first three letters are CIT.
That works.
Then you put in your then you put in the web ID 7669,
That works.
and then it takes
Yep.
you where you got to go.
Yeah.
So we'll incorporate the CIT as part of the flyers and everything else.
So I believe, one sec.
So everyone just write CIT on your little note here that Adam put out, and then
So you should be able to, if whoever did this form, and I might be able to find it in the source here, but you can pass parameters in that QR code so that when they go to the QR code, it would automatically pre-fill those two fields, CIT and 7669, and with, all you have to do is click start,
Click next or
start payment
whatever.
or whatever. So
oh, you're saying so like where it takes you to where it says express amount, that portal
yeah,
right there.
in that URL you would put, I think, question mark, and then you'd have the web form name. So if it say web ID is WID, I'm not sure what the actual form name is, but you should be able to say that equals 7669, and when you scan that QR code, it would pre-fill that in those fields for you.
Okay.
There should be a way to do that in your QR code, so you don't have to have them type anything in. Okay.
So until, I guess the answer to my question is, so until we get some other type of way to do this, you would have to manually go check every single deposit to see, is
Well,
it for the
I'm gonna do that
race, is
anyway.
it for the flea market, is it for fishing, is it for something else?
Because once they go in here, they're just putting an amount in, and then they're hitting next, and then I guess, let's just see, 100 next.
That's what I did.
And then it puts a name, credit card. So I guess it captures the name
Yeah.
with that payment in detail.
But what if you're, yeah.
But
So
then
I would only be able to go by whatever the name that's on there. And that's
then
what
you
I
have
would
no
go by.
way to know what they're doing.
Well, the registration, I mean, they're gonna register for events. So
You'd have to reconcile the registration form with the payment to make sure it's the
That's what
same.
I'm saying, right, exactly, okay.
So the registration form, we get a payment. Do they match? If they don't, we have to call them. Say you only paid 50 of the 100.
Yeah.
So if you receive 5 registration forms, let's say this week, right? You receive them and they tell you, I already paid using the information you gave me. You would just contact
There's
Adam
no reference
and
or
say,
anything.
Adam, I need confirmation for these 5. He'll say, yes, they're done. And then you'll know you're good to go.
Yeah, there's going to be a reconciliation process with
So
that.
maybe we need to see if George or somebody, RIT, can go put like a note section in here in this form so that we can, they can say, hey, my name's Johnny Smith. I'm, for bowling,
Yeah.
because if I'm paying, if I'm paying for it, but it's for you, my name's going to be Adam Thompson. That's going to have to match the card, but I'm paying for you.
Yeah, I mean, you
Let's
could
see if there's a way to put it.
you could probably put a drop down with an event ID in there and say
Right.
one bowling tournament, 2,
Or you
whatever.
could just put type of payment, type of event, and let them just write it.
No. Maybe that's a code
Yeah.
that they
I
select.
don't know if this might not be George. This might be the paying company that we
Oh,
use
yeah.
to do this, but not saying that it can't be done, but we'll probably have to get the two of them on the phone to coordinate. But I think if we put either, a line that just says reason or something that they can just put, whatever that could, because in the future, it'll help utility billing as well if they just put something that will be like a reason. It's a deposit, it's a payment, something. So.
Can you even put it on the front page here where the dollar amount goes with the drop down for them to select, and then they can go in and do their credit card? That would probably be good too. I know that if you pay your water bill, there's no service fee if you use debit. Is that the case with?
It's $2 here with the check, it says.
Everything, debit, I don't think charges anything, but anything other than that, it gets charged a fee.
Well, you got 2 options. You got pay with credit card, pay with check. Pay with credit card, there's a $3 fee on 100. Pay with check, there's a $2 fee on 100.
I mean, everything to, so this isn't tied to the utility side of it. This goes to the, so it's not tied to your water bill. It's tied to, for golf cart registration and deposits and stuff like that. So
So I'm not sure if people even want to use that. They're going to get charged on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that.
if who?
If they're going to get charged on top of it for a service fee.
Well, I think anything they're going to get charged. with
Well,
some
I
fee,
get
so,
that.
Yeah.
So
Writing a check to us and bringing it to us with a registration form would be 125% better.
right.
So
Yeah, but not everybody.
Right. It's not as convenient for everybody.
What do you mean not everybody could do that?
I mean, not everybody can physically come here between 8 and 4.
So they could put it in the Dropbox.
Right. I mean, there's ways to get payment here. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you can mail it also.
or Dropbox. Yeah.
Dropbox. I'm just not thinking everybody.
Anything else on that?
I'm good. Now, well, so what do we want to do? I mean, I can create anything we do. If you're talking about service fees, I don't think there's any way we can wipe that out unless we cover the.
Well, we're probably paying the service fee to process it, I guess, is why it's in there.
Yeah.
Because it's an independent third
Right.
party.
So yeah, we don't see that process fee. They do that to process it. But I don't think there's any way unless we come up with some rule that we eat it. Some way somebody's going to eat it. It's either going to be us or it's going to be the
No,
customer.
if they want to pay online, they'd have to pay it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Because it's a convenience.
Right, for them. They don't want to bring a check or whatever, bring cash. But I would definitely do a QR code, definitely would pre-fill all the things, so it just took them to wherever they have to go instead of typing stuff in.
okay.
So,
Well, these are all good notes to keep for going forward, so we know where our limitations are with this. There's a
Yeah.
limitation to it. Right now, I mean, there's not a whole lot of time to be fixing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff, but we'll know definitely for next year if we decide to do anything else.
Yeah.
This is easier. But this would be cool, like if we were taking donations for like 4th of July, if we wanted to buy you like we did last year,
Yeah.
people would just go in there and just add to it. So writing checks or whatever, I think it'd be a lot easier to do something like that.
do we do any in-house processing of like
We don't do
drafts?
Everything we do in house is ACH or check. So
Because like utility, there's no charge for using your bank account. So
Right.
we must be processing that in-house and not using a third party.
yes, we go through our bank. Well, our bank charges us. We charge a very nominal fee per check that processes through what we handle. Even when you write a check, it costs us to.
But from a
process it.
consumer perspective, I'm not paying any fee to pay my water bill.
No.
So we're just eating that as a cost of doing business, I guess.
Right.
Okay. That it?
That's it.
Member LaCarrie, 1.
I'm good right now, thank you.
Okay. Member Applefield?
I just wanted to publicly thank member Kim LaCurry for creating this fishing
too, I like
tournament. Yeah, very nice, very nicely done. So thank you very much. I've started to check around to try and get some sponsors for the fishing tournament, and also I have secured a captain who's going to help me run it. With
A
no
captain what?
charge. He's going to help me run it.
Oh, okay, good. Who's that?
Bill Rutherford. He's at Rusty Bucket in Newport
Okay.
Richey.
Dave Mueller mentioned that he might be interested in helping out.
That'd be absolutely great. So I'm going to start going around to some other places to try and secure some sponsors. A place for the captain's meeting. We were talking about Whiskey River potentially. So trying to move it along.
Cool.
On that note, just have the captain fill out the volunteer forms so he acts as a volunteer for your.
I didn't really say.
Have him fill out a volunteer form,
Okay.
and then that way, the city and himself is registered as a volunteer for your specific event.
Member Robinson?
I wanted to say that I thought that the whole kickoff was really nice. I thought Sam and Clyde did a great job. Everything was beautiful, and the time capsule was like so cool. And I also wanted to thank him for making the flyers, and that's it for now.
Vice Chair Gonzalez.
Yes, I have some things for today. I wanted to ask how many Business Expo participants do we have currently? I only saw one.
As of right now, I only have the one.
Yes.
I was emailed another one today, and I forwarded it to you.
Yes, I saw that.
I've been checking the email, admin email, and that's the only one I've gotten so far. I don't know if Member Taylor has anyone on the back end that she's wanting to come, but please send them out. Send them to us, and we, that way we can work. We can keep this moving. But as of right now, basically we're at 1.5.
Yeah, so I wanted to make a suggestion to the committee if we can move the date because it's not going to be great. Bless you. So, in order for us to have a successful event, I think if we move the date, I can check with Vesh what day they have available, but it's not going to be a great expo if we just have one participant. What are your suggestions on that?
Well, they start one. Want me to start?
Sure.
Well, we haven't gone to print yet, so that's good as far as the T-shirts. So, and I don't have a banner with the events on it. So we have, I mean, besides our flyers and the event flyers that we've been pushing online and what we have out front. I mean, we could make a date change. That's not going to dramatically throw people off. So we can do it, but like I said, that's one thing I was going to discuss on my turn is, cut off on sponsors and whatnot because, we're nearing our second event and we still haven't gone to print on anything. So we have to either stay firm, even if we don't have a successful event, we might have to just cancel that event, move on to the next one. But in this case, I think that we could do a date change without it being, too altering to everyone. So I think it's doable at this time. I think though, if we really make some decisions after we've gone to print, that's gonna put us in a situation because now, it's out there and people been, knowing what these dates are. So.
Anyone else? I mean, because I
Did you talk to Vesh to see what dates were available?
I haven't because I didn't want to bring that up yet until I spoke with you all. But I was thinking of moving it, and then even Citizen Advisory Committee, they said if anything they can post it in the fall, but we can still have a Centennial event even if it's in the fall because we're still within the 100 years. So, but I was just thinking of pushing it either sometime in April. I can find a day and a space. It's during the week. So it should be easy to fill also with Vesh because they won't have that many events during the week. But I would like for it to be successful. I went yesterday and Monday I was at an expo in Orlando. It's humongous convention, but they had different things like lanyards and swag bags and things like that. And it would be nice if the city can give something to its residents when they participate as well. I would like to put an event that is memorable, not just something like we just did it, Mickey Mouse style, idea.
Well, I mean, we've only got one, and it's supposed to be what, next week?
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. So I don't see.
Can you try to go for your mall? When they always have their, things that go on in the mall, it's always pretty crowded.
Yes.
Just had one that was outside. It was pretty crowded.
Yeah. And I think it's also the ease of now with the payment that we can do it online. Because one thing is going up to people and saying, when they say, how can I pay? And it's like, oh, you have to go in and do this. And it loses momentum. I'm saying, personally, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to be able to get, 49 vendors. So if we can move it, I would really like that.
Well, what date would you propose?
Let's take a look at the event list again.
That's
What things do we have for, and then she also has to go to the fish to see where they get them.
Do you have contact with Vesh? That we
Yes.
could call if we had it like now.
Yeah, I can call her.
Let's see what the calendar says.
Trying to squeeze it in the middle, like the 16th.
So right now it's scheduled for the 26th, right? Which is a Wednesday.
Yes.
What about
Exactly 2 weeks.
March? Why don't we just do it one more month? You don't think one more month would help? And do it March 26th? Because we don't have much in March.
Okay.
That's Chasko.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
March. Okay. Never mind. Maybe that's why we don't have much in March.
Well, so in March we have the 8th and 9th, which is the field day and the flea fest. And then the 22nd is a Taste Port Richie wine stroll.
Yeah, and there's spring break and everything, so I don't think that.
April.
April, I just know like the 18th is Good Friday, the 20th is Easter. The 21st, we have the golf scramble, I believe.
Can we do
Yes,
another
well,
one?
it's 20.
Yeah.
Golf tournament is 26. Oh, not golf, I'm sorry.
Fishing or going.
So
So,
like the 23rd would be.
April 23rd.
well, that's the week of the golf scramble and the fishing tournament. The 16th, we don't have, that week we don't have anything at all.
16th.
Or the 30th, you could push it to the end, to the 30th.
The fiesta starts March 28th to April 5th.
And actually, maybe that would be good because one, it gives you more time, and that's a off week. And then because the following week in May is the Centennial kickoff on the 10th.
Correct.
So if you was to look at the 30th of April,
April 30th.
that'd probably be optimal.
So April 30th, everyone? Is that okay?
And if you give enough time, Carolyn?
Yes, that would give.
You want to call them and see if they're good with 30th real quick?
Yes. And is there another date if she's not available on the 30th?
23rd.
Well, there's a couple things going on that week. Again, it does.
Yeah.
The golf scramble's on 21st, and the 26th is the.
If not the
Proposing to
16th.
change on that golf scramble.
I think
Huh?
to break
I'm
I think to
proposing
break
back
it up.
to the original date on the golf scramble.
We got a date change on that,
I'm proposing
Oh.
to go back to the original date.
which is the 20th,
28th.
28th. Oh, okay.
Carolyn, what about the person who's already signed up? Are they willing to change?
I do not know. I haven't even
I'm sure they
spoken
will.
to that person,
Well,
but I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Never know.
April 30th.
Well, just ask her the 30th, 23rd, 16th. Those 3 Wednesdays. And you think you want to have it on a Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Those are all April dates, right? This is the 25th.
Yes.
When are we moving it to?
Potentially 3rd. She's going to call and see what's available.
You here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
perfect.
to make decisions, so hopefully she'll answer and get a confirmation. Because we're have to get these shirts to print. We could always put the event list on there, and not have
And not
dates
have dates.
too. That way we wouldn't,
We won't commit.
and that'd clean up the amount of space on the shirt too.
And we could do that.
You don't like that?
Well, the only thing is, it's like we talked about last time. Most concert shirts or anything
They have the
always
dates
have
on
the
it.
dates with them
Hi,
when
Patty.
it happened.
Caroline
It's
with the
more like a
Centennial
collector's
Committee
item when
in
you
City
like,
Park. How are
Right.
you?
yeah, I remember that. It was April so-and-so and I was there.
Good, thank you. I
Yeah.
was calling because we were proposing to change the date from February 26th to April. We have 3 dates, whichever one you would be available. April 30th, April 16th, or April 23rd. April 30th being the preference. Thank you. April 30th. Wednesday, yeah. The 16th and the 23rd. Okay. Okay, so the 30th is open. Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh. Okay, so I'm in the meeting right now, so give me 1 second. Let me just ask. She said April 30th. It's available. The 23rd, there is tastings in the morning. So we go with April 30th?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Any objections to April 30th for the?
No,
Yeah, it's a Wednesday and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll lock it in.
Okay, Patty, can we change it to April 30th? February 26th. Thank you. Thank you for answering so fast. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. So April 30th. Thanks, Patty. We'll be speaking. Thanks. Bye-bye. So she actually said she said that was good because she got a lot of work on that day. She's like, I'm overwhelmed for the 26th. So she said the 30th is great.
Perfect.
April 30th.
Right.
Good. Thank
Now
you.
we got one sign up for obviously the 30th. Hopefully that's good with them.
I will contact them if you guys can just, I'll send you an email to send me their contact info and then I'll just contact them.
Okay.
I do have more things to say, if I may.
Okay.
So the Citizen Advisory Committee had a meeting last Thursday, and so they requested to send in a list of the events and the dates to all council members and committees, and ask them to volunteer minimum to one event. So they can volunteer, at least the person, to one event. If they can do all, it'll be great, but at least to one event to commit to that, so that we'd have volunteers, because I asked them for volunteers and help.
Yeah.
So they suggested that. They suggested that there was way too many events in such a short period of time. So to focus, they said like a priority would be the ball and Johnny Cash concert as well. And then what was the other thing they said? They requested if a suggestion for food, because for the bound price, if it can be beef and chicken. Have chicken and then another option, because they said people are gonna, like the residents and everything, $60 for chicken. They said it could have a variety. They suggested a drink, like the bar to have like a drink, like a smoked old fashioned or something for the ball.
You mean like the
like a
signature
signature
drink?
Signature
for
drink.
purchase,
There you go. Yeah, signature drink. And then Linda is going to be Linda Rodriguez. She's going to be donating a cake from Wright's, she said, bakery. They're also going to check on Publix to see if Publix wants to donate a cake for the Centennial, but Wright's Bakery. And then we have also member Matt Douglas. He's a magician. So he said he would donate for him, and I have to get him to make that in-kind sponsorship packet. 30 minutes of magic show around the tables, because that goes with like the time frame too. So he's going to do 30 minutes of table magic. Yes.
I think what I'd like to do is if we can move your information to number 2, so we can discuss all that around the mayor's ball.
Sorry.
And then also, if there's anything we really need to do, especially if we need to establish a budget for that event.
Yes.
So then stuff like that and other things that we need to buy, we know what we have to work with.
Yes. And let's see if they said anything else. Nope, that's it. That's all I have right now.
Remember, Keena?
All right, so
we know you need money.
huh?
You need money.
Well, I was waiting to hear from Cheryl on what she was going to
Yeah,
talk to
other-
Mr. Burke.
Yes, and I haven't heard either. Did you guys reach out to the other golf course? Or?
I have reached out to a bunch of other golf courses. Some of them just immediately said no, we're too busy.
Right.
It's that time of year. But then I do have 4 golf courses I'm working with and getting prices and stuff. So Timber Greens in Port Richey. I'm sorry, Newport Richey. Seven Springs in Trinity, Wentworth in Tarpon Springs, and Meadow Oaks in Hudson. So I have pricing so far from Wentworth and Seven Springs. But with that, the pricing would definitely get us in that $450 to $500 range per.
So they were less than Innsbruck, I guess?
Oh, way
less.
So get us in that $500 range, and that would cover the food, the golf, the prizes, like a whole kit and caboodle. They want to put name plates on the carts, and they'll run the closest to the pin and the longest putt and everything. So, and I did talk to John Monteleone. He said it's fine. He can move the cart to any of the courses. So that's not a problem.
Okay.
So and actually all of them had the date, except I haven't tied down one yet, but the other 3 have the date of the 21st or the 28th available. I was telling them probably the 28th would be the one we would want. Just it would give us a little bit more time to get registration fees and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was our original date that we had planned anyway.
Okay.
So that one is moving along pretty well.
So that was Wentworth and Seven Springs. They were the same cost?
So Wentworth is $50 a golfer, and that included the nameplates and him running all the stuff. And Seven Springs was $44.95 a golfer, but then you're going to add a small fee for them to run, like $200 or $300 for them to run the longest pin and stuff like that. So it's essentially the same price.
And what food was it?
And the food prices,
was it still like hamburgers?
one of them is $17.21. Yeah, most of them are hamburgers, hot dogs, or barbecue, or simple, but standard, what you would find at a golf scramble. And actually, it's very similar to the food that was at Innisbrook as well.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with Wentworth, but Seven Springs, that's the one that's off off Little Road, right?
Right. It's right in Trinity.
Yeah, and I believe they have three 9-hole courses there. Or are they just one
No.
18-hole?
I think it's just an 18-hole course.
I was thinking they had 3 different courses.
I looked at it. I'm so confused on which
But
ones are what
I
now.
played
But
there,
yes,
and that's
I
a
did.
very nice.
I did make sure that they were all at least 18 holes because there's several 9 holes.
Where's Whitworth at?
Is that the one on McFarland Booth on the right? Is that where that one is?
On Keystone, I think, on the right.
East Lake Road.
Seven Springs is the closest to
It's
us.
Trinity. No. The closest is kind of a toss up between Meadow Oaks and Timber Greens.
Oh, I'm thinking of Timber Greens off Little Road. Is it?
Timber Greens is Timber Greens Boulevard, Newport Richie. I can look it up. But
Down by River Ridge. That's Timber Creek.
Oh, that's Timber Greens. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Seven Springs. I think. Let me just make sure.
it just says
Yeah, Seven Springs on
72.
off Little Road. I was thinking of. I've played. That's a nice facility.
But Seven Springs is very nice too. It's a par 72, so that means it's a full length golf course.
Which one?
Seven Springs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Off Little Road. It's
Oh,
parse.
gotcha. And Timber Greens is,
And how many courses do they have?
as far as I know, it's just a 18 hole. Oh wait, nope. They have a champion course and a little course.
Yeah, I thought they had.
Yep, never mind.
And that was the one that was 44. Something a golfer.
It's $44.95 a golfer, but then they had like a little fee that they would-
Subcharge.
for
And the other one's $50 a
for
golfer.
running the tournament, like a tournament fee. So the other one, the $50 per golfer included that. So
Yeah.
they would
Roughly the same.
roughly
And the
same.
food was about the same
And the
price.
food is very close to the same too,
Um,
but then a couple bucks a person.
Did they have you had to pay up front for Seven Springs?
I don't have the official quote yet, so this is just over the phone. And also Wentworth was going to and give us 3 sets of 4 rounds of golf for the first, second, and third.
Give us what now? What's that?
3 sets of 4 rounds of golf, so as prize.
Oh, okay.
So I would. All of them were talking about what they could offer us as far as that goes.
As prizes,
as well.
okay.
So right. So I think we'll have a good bit of that as well. Plus we have plenty of room in a $450 to $500 range. Because if you're looking at about $75 to $80 a person, that's only like $320 to $350 per team. If we get the
Yeah.
when I was talking minimums, like Wentworth was saying they wanted like 75 minimum on golfers, but I mean that's doable.
Would Seven Springs give them minimum?
Not yet.
And then we don't have anything as upfront
But the
costs.
prices are low enough where we like when you're talking Innisbrook, it's $12,000 just for the golf.
Right.
Then you've got $4,000 plus for meals for the golf. So when we're talking $4,500 to $5,500 for the whole kit and caboodle. So if we only got 15 teams instead of 25, we would probably not even have to eat much, if any.
Gotcha.
So
Well,
that was the other good side of it.
it sounds like we definitely need to switch gears on the golf course.
The only thing is, I don't know if he's going to offer like a sponsorship of $10,000. Innisbrook would be amazing because that's an amazing golf course
Right.
to play, and we might get more players. So that was why I kind of was hoping to know how that meeting went. So that's where I don't know which direction to really
Is
push
he
for.
set on? I mean, is it hot to be Innisbrook? Is he set on Innisbrook, or is it more or less that he wants to help with the city city golf?
I don't think he's a member at Innisbrook, and he's not going to be able to play in it anyway. So I would imagine he would be okay. I'm going to assume if he sponsors, he would sponsor other places too. And
I
now
don't
actually,
even know who this person is, so I mean,
So,
his last name is Burke. That's it.
I think we go ahead and because we need to lock this stuff in. I would just move forward with Seven Springs. Would be my thought.
Right.
Again, I don't know Wentworth, so
Right. Well, that was something Cheryl had suggested, so I went ahead and contacted them too. But I'm working with Timber Green, Seven Springs, Wentworth, and Meadow Oaks. The other three are all in Pasco County.
And we'll meet next Tuesday. Is that we're going to push it to the 28th? Sounds like. Sounds like
So
we
the
at least
call-
make that decision. We push it a week out.
Right. I think we definitely go back to the original date on the 28th.
Scratch Innisbrook because of cost,
Okay.
and then we can decide finally on. But we got the. We just got the golf screen. We don't say where it's at on the t-shirts, right? So if we lock that in
Yeah,
the
just says
28th, that wouldn't affect the t-shirt stuff, right? So
Nope.
Should we even have the
28th.
events on the t-shirts just in case we don't get enough participation for them?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Should we even have the events listed on the t-shirts in case we don't get enough participation for the events and they have to be canceled?
That's up to everybody.
I mean, it's nice to have them on there, but again, if they aren't true, it's probably worse.
Just the date till April
Yeah.
28th.
So we're going to change the golf scramble. Is there any objections to change the golf scramble 28th?
No.
Okay.
Oh, we were changing that date too?
Yeah. So golf scramble is on the 28th, the original date we had, and potentially Seven Springs, but we'll make that decision next week once we get the rest of the
I mean, I'll get it finalized. But the Seven Springs sounds like it's probably
Yeah.
the favorite.
Yeah, and it's relatively close too. I think it's closer definitely than Innisbrook.
It's a little closer than Innisbrook.
And it's a country club, so I mean it's a nice course.
Yes. All right, on the other event, it's
Field day?
March 8th, the field day.
Yeah.
I gotta have a volunteer or I can't put this together. There's no way. There's just so many little pieces to it. I still can't even get in touch with the guy from the fire department to get in touch with me.
All right.
I've left
Cheryl's helping with that
messages.
too,
I
right?
finally got his email, so.
Cheryl's helping with that one.
She's helping with like getting the food trucks.
What is it that you need
Has
help in?
anybody talked to Public Works either?
Just I need a volunteer to like work with me to pull the whole thing together because I mean there, and then I don't know about the permit situation.
I'll help you.
I emailed everyone today
Right, I
about
got-
that information. So,
But as far as are you doing that? Because you had said you were going to let me know if you were doing it or if I need to try to do that.
well,
Or
Development Services does that. We don't pull the permits, but what we can do is we can collaborate on that.
But you gotta put the information
I can
together.
find out what they need, put the information together. It's not as big as a deal as you think because it's we just got to do a preliminary site plan, which is very easy, like where's stuff going to be, but that's very easy. We've got a map that we can draw on, so I can help you with that. But as far as another volunteer, as of right now we have no volunteers. No one has stepped up. So
We can volunteer ourselves, though, right?
yeah, I mean, if anyone else has as far as the committee, but I really understand and we need to let council and these other boards and committees that if any of them can help us, we really need to help
Yeah, because
because
they say we're going to help, but then I don't see anything. So
Right.
they gave
Councilman Mueller said it last night, everybody is go Port Richey, but nobody has stepped up to
Right.
help.
Yeah, so maybe we can do something like that.
right.
So we
Just
can-
the hardest because I was expecting to have a couple volunteers that could just pull together some pricing on rentals, pull together the sponsors like trying to get the swag bag stuff for the 5K event, the medals, there's a DJ. There's like 20 different moving parts in just one event. And just having, I can only do it so much.
Sure.
I can't. I get, anyway.
Did when you talk CAC, did they like Matt? As he said, he was going to do some stuff with the Magic.
Yes.
Did he volunteer some? Did he help out with some things
He
too? Or?
works, I think
During
it's
the
6
day.
days a week.
Right.
Yeah. So he's doing the magic after his
Right.
work. So I mean, that's what he's volunteering on. I can see if Lori, I can send them an email today and just see if
Yeah, Lori
you
might
guys
be willing
have
to help.
anybody else. Yes, Lori was very helpful. She's been helping out with the mayor's ball too. She wants to be part of the volunteers.
Okay.
Who else? That wasn't in the meeting of that day. And then Linda was saying she was going to donate. I mean, I can ask, see if they have anyone.
Well, like all my neighbors, they work full time, and
Yeah.
we're all rebuilding our houses.
Yeah.
So,
a lot.
and so plus I'm trying to move back in my
Sure.
house. So it's just conundrum of different events has made this very difficult.
Yeah.
And we have 3 weeks. To
Oh,
go.
and like I work a full time job, but I mean,
No,
I can
I
help
know.
whatever we can. I mean, in between, we don't sleep now. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah. And I need help.
Well, my event got
there's
moved,
no way.
so I can help for sure. I moved my event to April. What else can
Well,
I do?
The hard part is because we can't make any decisions
Right.
together.
We bring it to council now.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
we're a volunteer. We could kind of
Yeah.
make some decisions, and then this is what we're going to take to council. So,
Right.
Anyway,
So what is it that we need so that we know what is it that we're needing for it's field day, right? The field day.
so I've got the route made, but then it's working with the city as far as who's is the police going to mark off the streets? Are we doing that? Who takes care of that?
I would assume that you put the parade route together, then give that to the
Yeah,
police
it
department.
did.
They'll-
I will
It
connect.
actually has the parade route.
I will connect you with both our interim chief, our police chief, and then the
You
fire.
can forward the contact information.
Yeah, I'll give you all
Who?
that, and then I'll connect you guys through email, and then explain the situation, what you need for field day. I'll type it all up in the email. So
And that doesn't take a whole lot of time because they've done these events before, so
Right. So
it's
that
not
helps.
terrible.
But at least they can tell you, yes, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that.
Right.
More than likely, the police will handle everything on the outside. You'll probably have to just concentrate what's in the park. So in the park, they're gonna handle traffic. They're gonna handle if they got to rope stuff off. Whatever, they got to put some barricades up. They'll coordinate that on the outside.
Right.
You're probably gonna have to just concentrate what you're doing inside the park. If you're gonna have a couple tables, the runners coming back in to get some water, refreshments, stuff, and then the other events happening inside the park. But I wouldn't worry about the streets and stuff. You're definitely going to need fire department on scene just in the event of an accident or someone gets hurt or one of the runners becomes too hot or dehydrated. So obviously they'll just have to be on scene. But
So now that side of it, I wouldn't be responsible for, right? The city is just saying
Yes.
you guys need to be at this event.
Right.
So now I have a call and emails and everything into Thomas Quinn over at the fire department, who is the guy that would be handling, because they provide a truck for the kids to kind of crawl through. And I'm trying to work with him as far as getting the tug of war rope, as well as can they put together a little obstacle course, like a future firefighters obstacle course. If not, I need to be able to put together a little obstacle course. I do have a company that I can get the dunk tank. I've already got that. It's a very good price, $276, which also includes limbo and cornhole. I am putting out a request to everybody, if possible. Does anybody have other cornhole boards that we can borrow? Ours got flooded, so
What's,
they're
you said-
not flat anymore.
This is a company you said they had some?
Right, they have one set that they just
Oh, one
throw
set.
some backyard games together. So they're a rental company, but I can obviously look at other companies, but to keep the cost way down, they were $270, and that included tax and everything for the dunk tank, which is a very nice one, and some yard games.
Sal, is there a liability with the dunk tank being in there that we need to ask Nancy about?
once again, if you're going to have fire department on scene, no. I mean, maybe. I mean, it's.
That's his idea.
He's gonna be in the
I
dunk
put it
tank.
up on you. I'm sorry.
As long as we have it stationed somewhere in an open area of the park, it shouldn't be an issue. Because as long as fire's there to, once again, I'd have to get fire's opinion on it and see what their thoughts on it. But
I'm worried
If we're
about
just
somebody
talking,
getting
if we're
hurt
if we're
in it
if we're just
or
talking like
getting in and out.
Well,
Huh?
it's only for like the mayor.
Council,
it's only
yeah.
like a couple of committee.
it's the tank where you throw stuff at and it
Yeah,
dumps
yeah.
them.
Yeah, this
Which
is
is only should be about 4 feet of water. So
But you're
drowning
worried like
shouldn't be an
if
issue.
it's
like
nobody's
3.5
there and
feet
the
of
kid
water.
decides to go
Yeah,
in,
like if there's nobody around manning it and somebody
goes in.
decides they're gonna get in it.
That's the
is
point.
my-
We have to have somebody man it. There's got to be somebody there, which is why we also need volunteers for the event day.
Yeah. Do they have a lid? I mean, I would
No.
Like,
assume.
is there a way to lock it off?
There is it's got a fence all the way around except for where you crawl into it.
Yeah, I think they do have that locks up when
And there is like a little gate. You can lock it if there's nobody. Like if it's not being manned, yes, you can lock it.
Okay.
So no 2 or 3 year old could ever climb into it. It's not possible.
Okay.
Then the companies themselves, in order for them to be insured, they have to do that. So,
So we need a cornhole board for us to borrow. So
Well, so the cornhole boards. There's several of the restaurants. A lot of times they have
oh, that's true.
their own that they have out there that they might be willing to, and it's advertising for them, right? Because their names or logos on the boards.
you said we need a DJ.
I know. Remember,
Guild Dogs used to have a cornhole tournament, and so I wonder if Eric. I never went to that, but I don't know if they had a bunch of boards. You may reach out to Eric Soldier and see.
regardless, he had some of his own.
Yeah,
I think just for
I'll give you his number.
so he might
Yeah.
have
See,
some.
he might have access to some boards.
Eric, who?
Soldier,
Sojanen.
Sojanen. I'm not sure he pronounced his last name.
So Jaden, something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I'll get to you afterwards.
And he was.
He was on our Guild Dogs, and they had a cornhole tournament every month. So I'm not sure where he had his boards.
So the other part was, and this is not a necessity, but it was if you wanted to make it accessible so that somebody could actually go all the way around. There's that one space when you get to the end of the sidewalk where there's a little culvert there.
Around Waterford Park.
Mm-hmm. You go all the way to the end of the sidewalk, like you're headed over toward the boat ramp, the little kayak ramp and stuff, where you can't get through there. I mean, I can barely.
Right.
So if there was like a way to put a board across that.
Yeah.
But other than that, as far as accessibility, you can get that. That's why that park is nice. You can go all the way around the sidewalk as long as nobody parks on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
As well as over in the front. where the trucks
I'd
go.
probably let Sal know the route where it's at or whatever. They could probably put something together to
Yeah. I
Fix
just
that.
need to know what what
specifically where.
And I did send that to Ashley too.
How did you measure the,
And it's just to help with phone calls, really,
How did you measure the route?
through Google Maps. It's
And where is
3.1
it
miles.
Okay.
It's 3.1 miles, which
But
is
where is it
5K.
going?
So it starts at Waterfront Park. It goes down to around the little loop at Nick's. Goes down toward Catches, and it's during the morning, so there's not going to be anybody there. Go through the parking lot there. Go back out to and go all the way down past Waterfront. And you go to the right in the neighborhood there, and make a little loop, and then you go down and make another little loop and come back to Waterfront Park.
So there's
It's pretty simple. I mean, it's not like for a parade, it's not easy because you'd have to pass. But if you put cones in the middle of the street where there's passing points, it's fine.
So runners are going to want to know that it's exactly 3.1.
It is.
As you know, that
I mean,
they're
yeah,
gonna,
I will take a car measuring thing out there.
no, but what I'm saying is the people that do the start and finish, whether you're going to do timed or however you're going to do it, because you can't just have somebody there with a stopwatch reading times. They typically will map your route and make sure that it's exactly 3.1. I was just trying to look up to see the name of the company that there's a couple of companies that do that, that can help you with that. So they'll have an exact start line, exact finish line. Sometimes they have the banners, for start and finish, things like that.
Don't they have somebody post like halfway or something too to give you a time?
They can do that, and typically you can have somebody stand there. Those people, like at halfway, can be with a stopwatch, just constantly reading time, so people know.
Yeah.
Although runners, they have their own
Right.
time,
But
but
I mean, like this is just a 5K fun run, and I mean, this is not like a
Like a big
in Richmond, we had the U Crops 5K and stuff. I mean, where that's just a massive event where people really are racing. So this is more of a fun run, and you get a T-shirt and medal and get a little swag bag. So it's. But I would like to usually within the number thing on your shirt that you
Bib
use
number.
safety pins with numbers. Anyway, usually there's a little chip in there that just registers your time when you cross a line. And that's just something we have. It's a small rental fee for that. So for the measure at the end.
Oh, they rent the bibs?
So it's like a swim team starting block.
Yeah.
So once they push the button to start time, everybody takes off, and your chip registers when you come back across the line, and it gives that person a register to that number. Like say if you're 27 made it in 1 hour and 2 seconds. And it just registers it as you cross that line.
Cool.
So that is what we're looking at. But it's just making help with phone calls and that stuff because nobody calls you back. Then you have to call them over and over and over. So
What else is that you need? What else do you need? Like phone calls?
yeah, I mean that's the gist of it. Yes.
Do you need like a DJ? You need.
Yes, I know, but she gave me a DJ today, so hopefully. And that's just an announcer. They'll announce each event, have some music during
Like a
the event.
masters of ceremony type of thing, DJ.
Just like you would have a wedding, they announce this event's coming up, this event's coming up. And hey, the racers are coming in,
Right.
so that kind of thing. It makes some excitement.
Yeah. Anything
But
else?
then they would have the speaker equipment as well, so
Right.
you don't have to worry about that.
Anything else?
As far as that event, it's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
So that is, thank you.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Oh, and I updated it so it says City of Port Richey, and I added the Honda. So I had to get his. The other question, Sal, do we have the job form set up?
Yes, we created an account for JotForm, so we have.
Do we have a URL or something for that?
Well, I don't know much about it. I created the account for it. I got to dive into it and play with it for a little bit. I've not yet acclimated myself to the site, but we have a city account that we can go ahead and create forms and whatnot. So give me some time to acclimate and look into that.
Oh,
But,
just because like trying to get the flyer with the registration form, like go here to register. With 3 weeks left, we gotta get some people registered. I'm just trying to figure out.
Well, and it's just like I said at the last meeting. For now, if we need to forward them to the admin at City of Port Richey email.
Oh
and just have
no,
them
but I
register
mean
it that
just
way.
getting this out there. Like if they can just click on it and go, oh, here's my registration form, and they'll do it in like 2 seconds.
Well, I could post the registration form. Do I have that? I got to say, do I have the registration?
I'm waiting for the link to put in there,
Oh, okay.
and then link from the money payment part.
I can't guarantee when I can get around to doing that, but I
Well,
would.
that was
I
just
would
what
work
I'm
on this
asking. Should I
quickly
just
as I
leave it
can.
off and?
Well, at the very least, let's put admin in the City of Port Richey, and if we have to change it now, but like you said, you only have 3 weeks, so
Right.
let's go ahead and keep that moving.
Okay.
And how much is it per person for the 5K?
$20.
$20.
And that will cover the shirt. Is the shirt cost still around that $375 mark?
Or what?
The shirt.
For the 5K.
Oh, the 5K shirt, or we're doing the 5K?
No, we're just doing.
We're talking about the city
Talking
shirt.
a shirt.
It's just a shirt, so we're just going to get
yeah,
a event shirt.
As of right now, it's in the realm of $375. She did tell me there was going to be a slight price change with the logo being the full size as opposed to the pocket. So, but she hasn't given me that price right now. We're still working on proof because of the influx of sponsors. So, and now that we're changing dates on events, that's also a change. I got to go back to them, but we've been back and forth with proof. If anything, we can approve a color of shirt and color of lettering, so I can.
We'll get that done today.
Well,
I can solidify that, so then we can move forward.
yeah, but the basic cost is pretty close to about
in the realm of
there.
$375, $400.
So that $20 will more than cover, and even if I need to add a few things to the swag bag, it'll more than cover all that and the little medallion. Hoping it will cover the chip reader.
Okay. What do you want to use? Was it $20?
$20, yeah.
Want to do 25?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to We just like a lot of kids will want to run the 5K. It's a fun run, so I wanted to get a T-shirt and a medal, and she had suggested maybe we just use the stickers, get a blank medallion, and just use the Port Richey stickers for their medallion, because it's not like a out of this world.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Member Carey 2.
Just want to thank everyone for who was able to attend the opening ceremony last week. It went really well. We had quite a few people here, both staff and people from the city. It went really well. The time capsule, all the items have been opened. They'll be available for this Saturday for the museum day for people to view. And we very soon we're going to be talking about, probably within our next meeting or the meeting after, the new time capsule and what we want to put in it for May 18th. So we'll start talking about that. Let's see. John Foreman mentioned that the city has signed up. I do have a mock here for just a basic banner that Space Age Signs has given to me. This is a mock-up of what the information I sent them. They used a template from our opening day flyer. We don't have to go with this. We don't have to go with this color scheme. This was just basically this would be a flyer that everyone can use at the events. They're kind of just looking for direction. They're very open to making changes. So.
No, this wouldn't be like the big banner.
Yeah, this would be a big banner. It's not going to look like
No, but I mean, what about all the other? Because we were talking about the other sponsors on being on the banner.
Well,
so the other sponsors didn't. You got to get to a certain level of payment to be on the banner.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Makes sense. Yep.
Just general sponsors, they get website, stuff like that.
Website, flyers, that's kind of them. Give or take.
Oh, question answered.
Mostly digital. It all depends on the level of sponsorship that they contributed. But
Sal, my only comment about this would be, I would think we would want it to be a landscape instead of portrait.
yeah, she already. That was the first question I asked her. I'm like, it can't really look like a portrait. We got to do it like landscape. She goes, no, it would be because it's the size of the banner is 6 foot by 4 or whatever size. So she understood that.
Okay.
But given that, I don't know how you do that layout that way on a landscape. It seemed like she would have to maybe put the logo on one side, sponsorship, and then the Centennial stuff in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to.
You could squash this down and elongate it, but it wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
But even if you pick the Centennial celebration, you could, and maybe put the Honda.
Yeah, they couldn't format this way.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that'd be fine. But the color scheme, I like it.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Okay.
Especially because
I'll tell her that I want to see a landscape version. I'll email. I'll have it. Ashley should be back by then. I'll have her email it to all of us, and we'll be good on that. So then we at least will have a banner for people to put up at the separate events. And I think for some of our more significant events that we have, the Mayor's Ball, the obviously the May 18th celebration, maybe 1 or 2 more if we want to do individual banners for those because of what's going to happen. I think that would be a good idea for those. But
I need a backdrop for the ball too for pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Program.
I think that's all we have until we get into the agenda, so I'm good.
Good. Okay. The other thing I have is so update on bowling tournament. We've got 3 teams signed up. I know of a couple more that's going to sign up. So hopefully, the thing about bowling tournaments, a lot of people just show up on the day of. They don't sign up in advance. They come. So we don't know if we're going to have that or not. At North, at South, we gave all the leagues on Wednesday, all the leagues on Thursday, all the leagues on Friday, the flyer. I think that they did that also at North. So I would suggest pushing that out again this week and encourage them to sign up by 16th so we know that they're in there, but we haven't had any people sign up yet. So
Kim has been sharing that to
All the groups.
Yeah.
all the groups on Facebook.
I've seen
We've
it.
pushed it on the website.
I shared it to a couple of the bowling tournament groups out there too. So
And I also put all of the February events on the Joy FM. So
Okay,
they're
good.
out there too, including the bowling tournament.
I'll also make a change on the business expo.
Yes, I'll take that down.
The other thing I was going to bring up is do we want to, for these different events, the winners, do we want to have kind of a plaque that we can put in the case or whatever that shows the winners of the different events on there, that we kind of commemorate that? Something like that. That's an idea.
That'd be fine.
What else was there? I think that's all. Jumping to the agenda.
I have a question though.
Sure.
Before, Sal, didn't you send an email about the bus? Are we going to discuss that in the agenda?
What?
About the bus?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Okay, got it. I just wanted-
You want to send me the details on what you would want on the plaque?
Well, and I just something that we would, you maybe something like this or whatever, and then you just have little tags underneath it. Like you're seeing those employee of the month type things where you'd have a little rectangular tag, say a winner of the bowling event, this team or whatever. Just
First place.
yeah, 5K winner.
Oh, you want to do a plaque for all these events? So
Just one plaque
one plaque, but
that would have each
but
event
multiple squares for
all the different events.
Okay.
Just kind of commemorate that participation. And the other thing we talked about before was rebranding one of our parks as Centennial Park, and obviously there would be some signage associated with that. Remember about rebranding either Nick's Park or Waterfront Park as Centennial Park. Either be Nick's Centennial Park or possibly taking Waterfront out, just make it Centennial Park or Waterfront Centennial Park.
Personally, my recommendation, if we were going to change one of the park names, I would recommend the youngest, which would be Waterfront.
Waterfront Park.
Waterfront Park is the youngest out of all of them. The other ones are kind of historical.
Yeah.
They've been around for 40 plus years.
Yeah. Well, again, on those, we would keep the same name. We would just add Centennial to it. But really, the two that make sense is Waterfront Park or Nick's Park. Nick's Park would be kind of nice because it'd be the focal point of all the whatever gets developed down there, and it would, it'd be seen more. But Waterfront Park is obviously going to be probably used more in the future as well, so it wouldn't be bad to do it there. So I'm on board with either one, but
I think either one, you don't, like I said, Waterfront, you're always going to have events and
right.
things in the future. It's our largest park. It's the only park that we have that we can fit multiple large size events, and I think as we move forward as a city council and everything, we put more into that park and have other things. So I just with Nick's Park, that site is the oldest site in the city. It was the original area. It was the first city hall. I just don't want to change that name. I feel more for Waterfront Park.
I don't know if you can change it either, because I think if I'm remembering correctly, the way it was deeded to the city, it has to remain HR Nick's Park.
Oh, okay.
So
It could be.
I don't think that it can be changed. I'm pretty sure when we had to get grants and things for that many years ago, the deeding had to stay the same as HR Nick's Park. So
I think we can double check that, but I think that was one of the stipulations of how they wanted that. When they granted it to the city as a park.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe Waterfront makes most sense. So the only thing with Waterfront, I know there's a sign out there that has, I guess, the mayor and council that was there when they actually did Waterfront Park. So we need to somehow integrate that into whatever the new sign would be for Centennial Park.
We can always take that information and put it into a platform.
Mm.
you know, of all the original council members and at the time that were involved, and include that at the bottom of the new sign. So,
Yeah.
that, at least, shrink it down smaller,
Mm.
smaller version of, the people who founded it at that time.
Yeah.
And then that way we have more real estate to update however we want to do it.
So I
If
don't.
we're going to
Like
do
a
a
historical marker.
historical mark or something like that.
So I don't know if we have information on who did those original park signs throughout the city. If there's a vendor in town that did that for us or whatever, if we could get a price on what it would do to put that together, what would it cost us? Again, I mentioned last night at the council meeting that because we've been talking about doing a mural or whatever, and we could possibly integrate something like that with that Centennial Park branding as well. And there's that link I gave last night that they actually they'll do it for you. There may be a match cost, but it's an endowment, I guess, that they do that and they include it. So
Is this a suggestion that we should bring to council just for final consensus on?
yeah, I think for the
Yeah.
signage out there
Before we
council,
move, yeah, I mean, we can start getting pricing, but I think we definitely need to say, hey, by the way, we're going to change this name.
yeah.
So-
But my thought is on May 18th when we actually celebrate the Centennial that we would unveil that new rebranding of that park.
Oh, so we'd have to really get on
Right.
this. Okay.
Does FCT have to approve that as well?
Huh?
Does FCT have to approve the name change as well?
I'll email them and ask them, but I don't think
I don't think they'll have a problem.
As long as we're keeping the name Waterfront in there so they can recognize the park, that's really their main concern. And actually, the last time I talked to them, it probably would help because there's more than one waterfront park in the state of Florida, and they have a hard time finding ours. So if we add a little bit to the name, they'll appreciate it. Because the last time I talked to her and I mentioned Waterfront Park, she's like,
Which one?
she's like, I got about 30 here. Give me a minute. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be Port Richey Centennial Park or whatever to help them designate it. Okay. That's all I have. So I'll jump to the agenda. First up is everyone Centennial Events budget discussion. Is that you, Anna?
I mean, I can tell you what we had. So we had a couple of sponsorships the other day. We had Florida Port Richey, which you had already mentioned was $1,000. We had Hidden Creek Golf Carts gave $1,000, and then Edison Private School gave us $2,500. So that put our cash donations to $29,200. With our in kind that we have right at this moment, right now we're sitting at about $32,275. So, and that's with the $75 of in cash in there. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Questions, comments?
I'm going to probably add to that in kind because we just received a sponsorship from Island Paradise Charters that we were going to discuss later for the boat tours. So that's estimated at $5,000 in kind. So
We had Walmart still on a Walmart, right?
nope, haven't heard from Walmart. Culver's did reach out to us today, but they're talking about field day, so I forwarded her to member Keenan.
Yeah, they mentioned maybe donating some ice cream to the
Oh, really?
field day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
So she's working with them on that, but Walmart I have not yet
Okay.
heard from. So once again, like I mentioned earlier, we need to discuss if we want to set a cutoff now for sponsorships in order to, complete the T-shirt, start printing and going forward with that. Right now, we're at 15 total sponsors between monetary and in-kind. So
yeah, I think from a shirt perspective, I mean, I would say we'll cut off sponsorships. We'll take sponsorships all the way up, and we could somehow integrate
Right.
their sponsorship in there, but it wouldn't be on the shirt at that point.
I mean, we can always create another one. I mean, if we end up, if we have another big sponsor comes in, I know one time member Taylor said she had, close to, I don't know, 60, 80,000, potential. I don't know what happened with any of those, but if we end up getting any of them, we can definitely make more shirts.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did send the t-shirt company. Oh, we can get into that. We can get into t-shirts. So
Yeah.
never mind.
Did on any events do we need to adjust any stuff in the budget?
So
I think
actually,
Mayor's Ball. We're going to talk about that
Yes.
separate agenda item. So that obviously.
so I did forward Adam the completion for opening day. My final budget. I'm sorry, I don't have that right with me. I think I emailed it to him.
Yeah, it was 849.13.
Thank you. 849.13. So I was way under my 1,500 on that.
Oh, cool.
My history and heritage take two. My history and heritage day budget total, as of right now, which I wanna go over since we're talking numbers. I'm at 1383.10. That breaks down as for the Olympus tour bus is 683.10. The wheelchair transport service is going to be 450. The tour guide gift card was going to be 150, and just small snacks and drinks I have at 100, which is probably going to fall way less than that, and that puts me at 1383.10. So I'll be under budget for that. I've called Olympus and I called 5 other tour bus companies. They didn't have a wheelchair type of transport vehicle, so we had to. Captain Quinn helped me find a company that basically will just have a wheelchair bus that we'll have to follow together. I will coordinate. We only have the one tour guide, but I think if we have anyone who needs to use that bus, we'll figure out a way of either via radio or speakerphone to listen to the tour as it's going on. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
So if anyone has any comments or questions on what I've set for that day, just wanted to let the
Is there a
community know.
sign up form or anything for that day?
We've got it posted on the website. We're basically going to have tours starting at noon. The buses will be here at 11, but Kim is going to do. Kim and I are going to be doing a dry run between 11 and noon, and then it's basically a 50-minute tour. So it's going to be 12, 1, 2, and 3. So.
I guess show
And
up
we're
at
gonna
the
have
event
those.
and sign
We're
up
gonna have
there.
times out front, and we'll have sign-up sheets for anyone want to come in, during the day. So, but that's where the tour's at. We've mapped out a tour where it starts here at City Hall, goes completely around the city, starts on the northwest side, works its way down to the southwest side, crosses over to the east side of the city, and then comes back here at City Hall. Which we have, I believe it was 13 or 14 different landmarks or areas that we plan on stopping at.
Tell me 1 second.
Tomas, here at Tomas
Give me 1 second, I can tell you how many.
And has this been put out to media?
Sorry,
Has this been put out to media?
to media.
Mhm.
Well,
I just Cheryl was talking about.
we've been shared now. We've shared it to every group. I've mass meted it twice. We've been posting it on our website.
Oh no,
Put it on
but like she
Facebook.
had another something.
I would love to know what she's got because don't have access to it or don't know what if she's got some sort of and then also Kim posted it to Joy FM. Joy FM also knows about this Saturday. So we've tried several avenues. I'm open to anything else if anyone else has any other ideas. So
It is 13 stops.
13.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Anything else on budget?
So last week we had talked about giving $2,000 or $2,500 budget
The field day,
field day. Yep.
2,500.
Yeah. Well, we had talked either 2,000 or 2,500. I don't think we ever took a vote on it.
I don't remember we did either. Is that still what you think you need?
Yes.
And is that
And I will probably be well under that, but yeah.
I do have one more thing for budget. Last night, council approved the fireworks show for the May 18th, but we're going to be doing a little more research. I've conferred with the city manager. We're going to reach out to one other potential company, but they at least approved $20,000 to go towards the fireworks show as of last night. So
it was 20, right?
20.
Now this profit and loss that you have in here doesn't take into consideration any city money that we budgeted. So this is just the sponsorship. Do we want to show, Matt, based on our discussion last night, do we want to show up so we kind of know where we're at, I guess? Pulling in 25 from this.
Keep in mind that you're talking about the expenditure side of the budget shows
Right.
40,000. There's a revenue side that has to be
Right, and we don't have that revenue come. We got sponsorship revenue coming in.
Right.
We don't have any.
right. Right. But
Inter-
I'm saying
intertransfer.
that it was kind of conceived that at least half or more of the 40,000 was going to be raised by sponsorship. Right? So there's there. Okay.
So you say we have 20, not 40.
You have what you have. Well, you have what you raised. So anything beyond that, is coming directly out of the law.
Well, what real dollar amount do we have budgeted for that?
You have about 10,000.
How many?
About 10,000.
So we were planning on raising 30 in that.
Whereas in that time, at that time we had nothing. Right? So we had no idea what put in there and what was realistic.
Well, we budgeted 25 the prior year.
And there was two events at that point. The Centennial celebration and 4th of July.
So I'm confused just a little bit. So we budgeted 25 last year. We spent 12 and a half. We still,
That was last year.
what, I get that. So we rolled over. Well, we rolled over 12.
We didn't roll anything over.
Well, we haven't expensed 12.5 because
So that's
We don't
last
roll.
year.
Yeah, you don't roll
All
anything.
last year.
It all kind of goes in a big bucket.
I get that. All right. So scratch that. So we budgeted.
October 1, there's $40,000 in expenditure account for two events: celebration, Centennial celebration, and the 4th of July.
What can we spend? 10.
Beyond what
Okay. So we should show an incoming 10, so we know where we're at.
Yeah, I mean we can do that. Yes.
From city sponsorship, if you will. So we're looking at here 27. It'd be 37 plus whatever. So you said it was 32 with in kinds, and I don't know why we're tracking in kind on here because we can't spend in kind.
So well,
It's just when
it's different. But I mean, if you want to put it that way, I mean I can take the in kind out, but we were kind of keeping track of the in kind as well. So when you're talking about budget wise, so like for instance with the however we're doing the business expo, you got what $7,000 for the expo hall. So if you ever want to do this again, they're not going to give us but half.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I can take it however you want.
we just need, obviously, as we assign values to these things, we need to know where we're at from a hard dollar perspective, right? In kind is a wash. We aren't, $5,000 for the use of the hall. We're not paying that. They're giving it to us. So it's not like we have $5,000. But if you show it 5,000 coming in, 5,000 going off for that rental on there, are you doing that?
Well, yeah, so everything comes out. So it's going to add the cash in, the in kind, then what you spent. Then it's going to add the event cash that you're going to collect. But I can take the in.
We just need to know where we're at. So when we throw 20,000 fireworks, we need to know what we got left. She wants 2,000, 2,500 for the field day. We need to know where we're at.
So with the budget down here with your event budget, I mean, if you put 20, I mean, I can take that out. I can show this total funds up here just cash. You know what I'm saying? So that when you put your budget down here, so like I take this $23,000 out of here. I mean, I put $23,000 is going to show that that's what we. So that $31,000 or whatever it is up at the top there, I can take the in kind out of that because it is showing in there as that total as support or sponsorship. So you want it just as cash, the cash that we receive from sponsors, as that total up there? Because I can do that.
Honestly, somewhere at the bottom, I need to know as we've allocated where we're at. because you got the income, we've got the budget here. So we had 24/7 on income, and then you've got 3,500, but it didn't show the remaining.
So the total fund. So when you so these 1,500. Hold on, not actually doing that. So
Anyway, so as we
I can fix that.
yeah, as we do this, as we allocate this, so obviously we can change opening day from 1,500 to the actual of 890 something or whatever he said it was,
Yeah, which I did that.
which frees up that $600 back into the pool.
Right.
So
What I'll do is I'll fix that. I'll take the in-kind out. I'll show the in-kind as it comes in or whatever we're going to approve, but it won't go into that dollar amount at the top. And then what should happen is every time we do this, so like I put in the spent amount, so 849 from the 1,500, it should just give you an actual number.
Yeah, just give us a remaining budget, and as you put in budget amounts, it lowers the remaining budget.
Right.
As you put in actual, if there's an actual in there, then you would basically use the calculation on the actual instead of the budget amount.
Yes.
And that would
I can
add it back.
I'll fix that, and I'll add a donation of $10,000 to the city in here as well.
Yeah. And so we need a firework budget of 20.
I have 20,000 in here.
Okay.
Right now. So, but the only budgets I have in here is $1,500 for the opening day, $1,500 for history, which I actual spent was 849. So it shows what our budget was, what we spent, and our profit at the end, profit or loss. So right now, these are only budgets I have: the $1,500, and then the $500 for the bowling tournament, and then $20,000 for the fireworks so far.
Yeah.
But the rest of this, we haven't put any money towards.
Right. So we're going to throw some money at that for the mayor's ball and stuff like that now. So do
I
you
would
think you
really
need
like
2
2,500.
25? So if you could, any objection to 2,500?
To the
Field day
field day.
and 5K.
Camp Sally, objection to 2,500 field day?
No.
Okay, so code 2,500 field day.
I might be at like 1,500, maybe less for the fishing tournament because I just have to buy some prizes and things like that, and have to buy the rulers. But I might be able to get some donations for that. But so I'd rather go high side than low.
And that should be fees should cover that, right?
Some
So-
of it, yes, exactly, right.
Your 2,500 doesn't
Right.
include
No,
fees.
no, because I'm assuming that the 5K will be paid for with the $20, and then we'll need possibly a couple tents.
So the 25 that you're planning is
The DJ.
that is a hard
right,
expense. We're not getting anything back for that.
Correct.
Fishing tournament.
So I
were you saying-
I might be less than, yeah, so maybe 1,000.
Which is also
Just for
what I'm
prizes
expecting.
and
so you
things
think
like
we're
that.
going to outlay 1,000 in the fishing tournament?
Maybe less, maybe. Well,
what
I'm
are you
just
buying?
thinking.
What's
The only thing that I know of that I have to buy right now are the measuring poles or sticks. What I'm not sure what the right terminology is
to measure the fish?
to measure the fish. Right? They're $16 each.
Okay.
And then the prizes will be divvied up on entry fees.
Right.
So that's that. I'm trying to get swag bags all covered from sponsors. So I think the only other expense I would have is the prizes,
Well,
like trophies,
which should come out of the entry fees, right?
No. Other than the cash prizes. Like if I want to give a plaque or something, a trophy for first place also.
Right. Well, again, your cost structure, it should be covered in entry fee, whatever you're giving out. So the only thing the city needs to outlay for this would be some marketing material or if we're providing something for free. I mean,
I'll have to work on that.
yeah, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking it's pretty much a self-supported event.
Okay.
They're maybe $500 or something for incidental
Fair
stuff
enough.
or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm not planning it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that would be.
Your
that would be
fee
fine.
you should build into your fee whatever the fee is what's going to cover any cash prizes, any medallions or whatever you want to give out. Again,
Right, okay.
it cost should be covered with those fees. So
Gotcha.
that it's self-supporting.
Okay, so 500 for the fishing.
Yeah, maybe
Probably
put a
won't
500
even-
placeholder in there for that. And it probably wouldn't even take that much, but that'd give you a little buffer. Okay, good on that. Was there any other event costs we need to update before we move on to obviously mayor's balls next? I think.
No, I gotta confer with the finance director about May 18th actually. So that's obviously going to be one of our biggest budgets, but we're working on that still.
Right. Well, you got the 20 in there for the
Right.
fireworks, which is part of that. The entertainment, I guess, is the other. And a stage.
Yeah, well, if we're doing it, if we're talking about a Johnny Cash type of concert, I've been wrestling with that a little bit. I have to touch back with Adam on that. It's going to be kind of difficult because we don't have a sound stage or any type of anything set up. If Guild Dogs was there, we could have worked something out with them. We're thinking of something.
Well, I don't know that wouldn't be an option still. Like I said, if the property changed hands, I think Ryan would probably be wanting to levy that. But
I don't know, like when he closed down, what he took from, like what if he took part of the state. If he took components from it, does it?
right. Well, a lot of times the bands that you would hire would have their own sound.
Yeah.
So and I don't know if I think that's probably the arrangement he had.
That would kind of help us if that's a fact when that property just changed hands. They allow us to do that. We would have to work out an agreement or something.
Right. And we probably have to have some kind of liability thing in place, which I assume our liability city policy would cover anything at another property, wouldn't it, Matt? Yeah. We probably just have to call and
We'd have to figure that out.
add a rider or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, our riders usually covers our property, but as far as extending it to another piece of property,
I'm checking on that.
we might have to do a separate policy for that particular day, and just do something separate. But we'll talk to them about that. But if not, we were talking. There are other options. Basically, maybe a small acoustic playing band. That will go around the festival while everything is going on, and a combination of a DJ setup. So to have a bit of both. So we're running options on that.
Okay.
So.
Just a quick comment about Guild Dog. I know that they sustained some damage from the storms. I don't know if the building department has to do any type of inspections before anybody can go in there.
Yeah.
Just to keep that in the back of our minds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what kind of shape it's in either. It's a good point. Okay, let's move to the next item on here, which is it's just our mayor's ball. So I'll turn it over to you, Kim, or Carolyn, both y'all.
The one that was in the actual item that was in the agenda packet, I made a mistake calculating it. I did speak with Spartan Manor. The actual fee per person is $50. So either Ashley or Sal sent out the amended one that I updated for us to discuss about increasing the ticket pricing. Because the $60 or $65, and I had written down $65, but I didn't have minutes to go back to check and see what we had agreed on. But with the price being at $50 per person, because I did not take into consideration that there is a service charge per person, I was only going by food. When I confirmed that amount with Daphne, and it brought it up to $50 a person.
Okay.
I think we need to consider bringing the ticket price up to $85 per person, or even possibly $100. I mean, I know that $100 is kind of steep, but I think at least $85 is a minimum.
Okay.
I had a question on, like, if Tim and I were to come, I would expect to buy a ticket.
That's what I thought too.
I obviously, the mayor's it's his event, but Ocean Honda, they're the big sponsor, and you got some pretty big guests on there, but I'm not expecting to be.
This was a recommendation.
Okay,
it just
yeah,
said it was a
right,
recommendation for discussion. It wasn't
exactly. That's why
it was just hey.
That's why I'm throwing that out
Yeah.
there. That I was expecting to buy a ticket. So,
Right.
for the mayor's ball.
No, I just put it on there for discussion. That was all. And I know the mayor, and I know Chairman has people that he may want to add to this list as well, because
There's going to be several committee members working on this extensively,
right.
and to not extend that ticket to an actual. I mean, we're working on multiple events on top of this event. I feel at the very least they
Deserve a
take
meal.
out for a guest. Like if we're adding a guest to that, that's fine. You want to pay for the guest ticket, that's fine. But the initial committee, council, city manager, that's different. That's these people have all been very involved in this entire thing from start to finish. So at the very least, we got to extend a courtesy to them. And like I said, if we just want to say then if the next guest, or that's one thing, but those initial people need to have tickets. Need to have tickets taken care of.
Yeah, I would agree. There's no reason you guys shouldn't
Absolutely.
pre-ticket to the thing.
That's just like I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, but I mean, if depending on to keep the price down, if you want to only do that and then pay for the guests that you bring or whatever, then that's something you guys can discuss. But I would, like I said, I don't see any problem if you get you and your plus one. So, and I don't think 85 or 100 is steep, but and I want to say that Newport Richie's was around 65 or something like that. And they filled the house. So people, for an event like this, they're $100 with entertainment and meal and all that. Especially if we provide more than just chicken. It's not unheard of. Now, obviously, somebody bringing $200 a couple. Maybe it becomes a little steep. I don't know.
We
Has
can do
anyone
like
contacted the politicians to ask them if they're
say
coming?
for example, you do for one person it's 100, and then for two is 150, something like that you can maybe give a special
Like a
or
discount or something.
discount or something. Just an idea. I know like proms do that, things like that. I don't know, to get people or by RSVP by a certain date or pay by a certain date. This is the price. If not, it's this how much.
And I know that some of the nonprofits for Newport Richie offsetted some of that cost.
Yeah, they had some
So it
sponsorships
wasn't,
in there.
I think if you were to just buy it outright, it was $150 per person.
I know the Chasco one that there is $150 now. They're taking,
For the coronation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which there were some people complaining about that because I think that went up from $100
Right.
last year.
So should we do it at 85?
How many guests are we thinking that we want to have a minimum of how many
I'm
guests?
thinking 150 and that was my guesstimate. It was approximately 150.
Minimum.
What was the capacity?
400
But yeah,
400?
450.
or 450, I think,
450,
because Newport Richie had 385.
Because they were sold out for their
Mhm.
Yeah, I think definitely 85. I'm just trying to think better than 100. And honestly, as we get closer to this, we're going to know what's left from a budget perspective that we can offset that. But it's
And then obviously the price will change if we add something other than chicken.
yeah.
So
do
that price
we
is
have
just
that?
for the chicken.
Do we have that information about if we went with chicken or beef?
Unfortunately, not right at the current moment because the chef was not available to check the food price. I was told that the food prices are changing daily.
Yeah.
So the chicken is set in stone, but the beef price is not, and he has to check.
And so to give a choice, because obviously they got to know how much to make of each. You'd almost have to. They would have to. In their RSVP, they would have to select what they were having.
Correct.
It's like a wedding.
And I'm assuming they would have a per person beef, per person chicken, and depending on the orders, they would have to figure out that cost in the end. Most people pick beef, then the cost would be higher, right?
Yeah, it's not. She told me that the prices had changed on here for the beef.
But just have an idea.
Yeah.
Well, and also when they're vegetarian too.
I think they would do that one just
Oh no,
the
they were
person. Yeah.
right. That's not an extra cost.
Yeah.
Did they have a price difference between beef and chicken? Just
The bistro steak, which I'm not sure what that is, it's probably a small fillet, is $31.95.
And the
But
chicken?
then you have to add the fees. The chicken was $23.95 plus the fees.
okay, so about $8 difference.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the issue. If you give the choice, you set the price,
And then what if you get all these people that want beef?
then you
How
don't
about
have,
if-
which
well,
you will.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if we can, like, if you want beef, it's $100. If you want chicken, it's $85. It's like going to a restaurant. Can't do that.
Not at these types of things.
No. Unless we just put 100 across the board.
They have a vegetarian option, but the fish
Because if it's $50 per person just for chicken,
$24.95, which is a dollar.
it's going to
more
go
than
up, let's say 60, 65 for beef. And then that's cutting into the whatever extra that it is for us, for the favors and entertainment and everything.
If we do a fish, it's only a dollar more. So if we offered a chicken and
Chicken and
fish,
fish.
No. Matt, what do you think on this? You got any opinion? No.
For the audience.
You could do us a huge solid if you just were the entertainment.
Chicken or fish?
Chicken or fish?
Can you sing and dance?
No, I'd stay away from fish.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing at events like this.
Did you ever see Airplane?
I mean, I can tell you that their chicken meal is good. I mean, it's.
right, you were at the event,
it's-
so
I mean, it's. I would rather keep the cost down and only. Oh, you didn't like it, Amanda?
A lot of people don't like mushrooms, so
I
I wouldn't get it just because of that.
mean, I've had it several times. I've gone there several times. It's always the chicken. But,
the steak.
I mean, we can.
Do we make it 100?
We can make it 100 and give
offer-
a choice.
Okay.
100.
They might disagree.
No. So it's $100, chicken or beef. What we're doing.
Everyone always likes a choice, so it's
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is there a vegetarian option?
Yes, there
Yes.
is, and it's just the same price.
Okay.
The sliced roast beef is
Because of
only
mine too is if how it all outlays in cat. We take this in, this could potentially we have more money than we spent.
correct. If it's
Right.
more than right.
So
Especially if we got 300 people.
Right, hopefully.
Yeah.
So $100 per person. Are we going to keep it at 100 and then no discount, no nothing, just $100 per person?
I think it's simpler.
Simpler. Okay.
and there's no
100, since we're offering two options.
and we didn't talk about this, but and I don't know if I can't remember. Do you remember, Amanda? Was there any kids at that Newport Richie event? It was all adults, wasn't it? I don't know if people would want to bring their kids, but there's probably not a differentiation in the meal. For
No, it's
kids,
just
right?
per plate, basically.
Okay.
Is that something that we're going to say no children? 'Cause I think
Well, if they want to pay the
It's
ticket, then
$100,
they
yeah.
can bring them.
they can bring.
I think we should set like an age like 14 and over or something.
Yeah.
You are having a bar though. Yeah, so-
Correct.
Well, yeah, but it's not.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they
It's not open bar.
right, and it's and the bar is actually in a separate room or whatever.
To cover
I mean, if there's no, I don't
themselves.
think there's any legally you couldn't have kids there because it's not. It's they can't drink, obviously.
Have these politicians been invited?
Not yet. This was just a draft, so we
Okay.
could discuss.
So let's any objections to the $100 fee?
No.
Okay, now let's go with that and let's talk about the guest list that are non-pay. So obviously Ocean Honda, I think that there was two table sizes, there's 8 and 10, right?
8 and 10.
Do we-
Yes. There's
do-
more of 8
There are more eights.
than 10s.
So what's your thoughts on the table of 10 or 8? Did anybody reach out to Ocean Honda and see how many they thought they might? Maybe they don't need that many.
Not yet.
How many tables of 10 is there?
She didn't give a number, but I don't think it's that many. Kim, did she ever say a number to you?
For the 10 top,
Yeah.
I don't remember. I would have to follow up and
I don't
ask.
think there was many. I mean, honestly, I don't think it would be an option. We just say,
We
This
need
is how
this
many
10
you
top or
have.
we need an 8 top.
Yeah. Well,
but to like.
let's give them a 10 table.
The sponsor level says 8 through 10, so
8 through 10, yeah.
yeah, so it's it'll be optional. It's fine.
I wasn't sure what we posted on there.
Yeah, it says paid admission, one table at Mayor's Bowl, seats 8 to 10. So
Okay, so give a table of 10. I mean, they gave us 20,000.
I have a question. Sorry, I'm going backwards, but I just thought about it. How about if, like, let's say a company wants to buy a table? Are we going to give a special discount or anything like that to see how people can buy tables?
That's a good thought. You could maybe they buy a whole table, make it 90 a person.
Or 700.
So
per table.
it'd be $80 discount for a table,
how much?
right? $10 a seat, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So if you buy a whole table of 8, it takes $10 off a person,
That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
just to encourage people to like.
Bye.
You got smirk. You don't agree with that?
Table 8 or table?
I'm just trying to understand.
The rationale
Yeah, because
to buy a whole table,
right.
You want to bring
you're
more
booking
people.
8. You're booking 8 seats,
So your logic is that doing that, you get more people there.
right?
Oh, I could invite
Business
so and
expense.
so.
Yeah.
So it feels like
So instead of like $900, no, $800, it's $720. That's not,
Yes,
is that a deal?
8 times 9 is 7.
I would say 700 just to make it even, but
700.
that's.
No, I-
We have again we're having beef or chicken. If you have everybody orders
Oh, I know.
beef, it
Yeah.
costs it me. So
Yeah, we still want to
Like
recoup our
$10.
cost. I mean, that's the whole thing. Is that
Right.
I don't mind handing out an incentive discount, but
I mean, I think our costs are covered at 90, and
And that might be
I
a
mean,
lot for the form and stuff too. So, you
you got to remember we're also talking about entertainment is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
It all depends on if we have I know that the CAC was recommending looking into bands, small bands, stuff like that. That's gonna run us alone, between $800 to $1,000 to lock in a band. If you're gonna have a master of ceremonies, which I truly recommend to help run the event, that could be another $800 just for those two alone. So you're looking at between $1,600 to $2,000 for just the entertainment side of the factor. If you're going to do anything else on the outside, centerpieces and stuff like that, that's going to factor in, another, $500, or more, all depending on how elaborate we're going to make stuff. So there's other expenses that we got to consider besides the food if we're going to at least recoup from this event, because, this is going to be one of our bigger expenses overall.
What is the Master of Ceremonies doing? I mean, what presentations are we making here?
Well, we haven't gotten into the details yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten down to
what,
that.
what we're
Okay,
doing
sorry.
in that, but if you're going to have anything, announcements to be made, if you're going to be doing some sort of ceremonial recognition for the Centennial, if you're going to make, if we're going to hand out awards to the committee members or someone else, if Congressman Bill Rackus comes, he may have a proclamation or something himself that he's going to bring to read. So you want
he's
to have,
definitely doing that on the actual day.
yeah. So
I think between Mr. Mayor and the DJ, you would have that covered.
right, but that's when I mean DJ, that's what I'm talking about.
The
DJ
Okay.
is a master.
Okay.
It's the same
Okay.
thing.
It's the
Okay.
same-
It's not a
it's the
separate
same.
person.
Okay, that's what I
they,
meant.
they
Okay.
basically, your DJ is a master of ceremonies. They pretty much run the floor.
Correct.
You know? a formal event like this, you also will consider like a small 3-piece band, 4-piece band, just for like during the cocktail hour, like, during dinner, something like that, something to consider. But once again, we have to investigate prices and go forward with that. So, but we're still at the recommendation stage.
So on this table, rather than $10 off, table's 800. So $100 a ticket, 8 people, that's 800. Do you just want to give a $50 discount then? So it's not quite 80.
That's up to the committee. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Just some kind of.
So
I say that's good to
750.
start with, and if we have to reduce it, we'll reduce it. But yeah, let's not take off too much. And then if we have to take off, we're not getting a big feedback later on. We can always talk about reducing it further later on.
So $750 a table.
$750 a table.
Okay.
And
Of
or
each.
individual tickets are 100.
Table.
8-person, yeah.
Yeah. So how's it see? How many tables were 10?
We don't.
I don't know how many, but I don't think
I
we
don't
should
know, but it's
solicit
not
that.
that many. If it's
Yeah.
5, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I want to say it was either 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So let me see
I
something
want to
here.
say 5 because
I think
in
it
my
was
mind.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't have that many, and she was like, yeah.
750 divided by 8. So if I take the $50 discount divided by 8 people, $625. So if I take a table of 10, it'd be 6025, 1,000 minus 6025. So we can make a table of 10, 940. Would be the same.
Should we even solicit that? Because
I
I
don't
don't
know if we want to
It's very
solicit it.
limit that.
We'll save
It's very
that for our
limited.
guest of honor tables.
Okay, yeah. So let's take
Yeah.
table 8. That's fine.
You're right, guess the lot.
Because it's probably only a couple tables of 10 anyway, right?
Yeah, there's only like
So that one's
5.
going to Honda. So, okay. So, ticket pricing 100. Table of 8 is available for $750. And so now our guest list for non-ticket purchasing. So we've got obviously Ocean Honda with a table of 10. We've got Gus and Guest, Ed Hooper and Guest. I would include Brad Yeager and Guest because he's our representative.
Mm-hmm.
City council members and guests, city manager and guests, obviously, city clerk and guests, and then Centennial committee members and guests is what we have on here so far.
And then Amanda Hoover and I are working on getting Johnny Cash's son. I don't know how we're going to do it. If we can, if he can be at the May 18th event, then we would believe we would offer something for the May 16th ball. I'm also going to try to reach out to his Johnny Cash's daughter.
Okay.
So if we have anything like that, and maybe some other dignitaries, I don't know, as many as we can get.
Go with soft enough.
I don't know that I was going to send an invite to Senator Senator Scott,
DeSantis.
and well, we could invite the governor as well. I mean, again, I don't know.
Just at least a formal
As a
flag, at
formality.
the very least.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to get him on the good side in case you have to appoint your council member.
Well, right. Well, so, and I'm fine with that. I think we should invite a governor, both senators, and
Lieutenant Governor as well.
we've got Bill Rockets. So why don't we do this? So we'll invite both senators and a governor included on this, and guest. And I would assume that if they couldn't come, they would send somebody,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. So we need to make sure that
Sometimes
Do
they
you-
just say.
do you want to draft something?
yes,
That's what.
yes, absolutely. I would send a formal invite to their office.
Got it.
We should make it nice though. Like you drop
yeah.
it and put it in a nice envelope and
Boldly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
physically, yes, but on through via email and physical should be both.
Yes.
Should be both ways.
yes.
But yeah, and it actually should come from you. Out.
Yeah.
It should come from the mayor. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you figure those into the
Yes.
thing, and obviously with the increased price, it should be good for those. Anybody else that you guys think of? I mean, we do have the Pasco County Commission, but I don't know that we need to invite. I mean, as far as the comp ticket, anyway. And we've got obviously.
Oh,
Well, Jack is our.
Our representative for the area.
Well, so actually for both we do have Hart Yeager, which would be grads plus one, obviously. So we'd have her covered. Maybe we add Jack to that as well
Okay.
as a paid guest.
what about Chopper?
And Chopper.
Yeah, we could put him on there too.
Did you have to pay for yours to go
Yeah, how
to
did that work?
theirs?
I did pay for mine, actually.
Oh, you had to pay?
Huh?
You paid?
Yeah.
Well, he had a table, and I think he got a discount on the table that I paid for me and Amanda. Yeah.
So no Chopper.
Oh, so just say, yeah, we'll give you a discount. They will give you a discount, buddy. He's got to come in his gear from last week.
What's that?
The outfit he wore, he's got to come in that.
Right.
So
He'd be
it's
amenable to that, I think.
If I don't know if anyone watched the meeting, but I've got a picture will be posted soon. He's got to wear that outfit.
I mean, again, if we have the capacity to provide that, by all means. I mean, he gave us the paddle. I mean,
right. That was
you know,
my thought.
I'm sure he'd be. He's going to be there for sure. I'm sure he'd be more than grateful to accept that.
Okay.
So
What about
let's put
school
him on there
board?
just because it's the mayor's
Got him.
ball, and like I said, he's a very close neighbor.
What about school board? Anybody from the school board, like John Legg or anybody?
I'm not that in touch with
Okay.
that, so
Okay.
I'm not
Just
sure.
throwing it out there.
No, they don't be paying.
And we don't really. We do have a school, right? It's a private though, isn't it?
The Edison Private School, they're actually one of our sponsors.
It's a school board.
Pasco School Board has nothing to do with that, no.
Okay, so we don't really have any connections to the Pasco School Board
Nope.
from the city perspective. So I leave those off.
Okay.
Anything else on that?
Related to that, when are we going to have, for the people that are paying, when are we going to start having tickets or signups or registration or anything? Is that somewhere else here?
We had to get through all this first.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry.
Nope, you're fine.
And so we already touched on the food. We're gonna have a choice, so that's in there.
Is everything else on here okay as far as we're gonna add the beef?
Just to make mention that on March 1st, 2025, I don't remember the time, we're meeting, it's a Saturday, we're meeting with Daphne from Spartan Manor. Anyone who's on the subcommittee or anyone who wants on this committee to go, we're going to be picking foods or making the final touches of the foods, tablecloths, and colors.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Just to make mention.
Are you sampling food?
As soon as we have a lot of time, I'd let us know.
Yeah, okay.
What?
March 1st, Saturday.
Remind us.
Yes.
Subsequent
No, I'll
meetings.
send it, yeah.
Or maybe we could send an invite out. That'd be great.
Oh, I can do that. Calendar invite.
Or so I can have Ashley send it out too.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes.
The time, is that okay from 6 to 10? Everybody good with that time?
On the
Yeah, I think so.
invitation, we would put what, 5:30? Like half hour before, so you can make it at 6, or we put 6 to 10.
Doors
6
open
to
at
10. And
doors
we'll
open at
open at
5:30.
5:30.
Okay.
check in.
And cocktail hour.
And we have dessert covered, potentially, right?
I believe we do. We have dessert covered, and then the donated cake.
Did who's donating the cake?
Right.
Nice near Linda Rodriguez.
Right, but who? Was it?
I think she wanted to get it from Wright's Bakery in Tampa. Wright's Gourmet.
Is that going to be a big sheet cake, or are they going to?
I think she said it was a sheet cake. So I'm not sure.
I wonder if somebody could make a stilt house
I'm
cake.
still working on that, but
It'd be kind
yes,
of neat.
that would be very nice.
Ken, did you have some this?
Yeah, so I had already reached out to somebody. She was going to do some in kind. I've used her for another event. It's called Dipped by Demi. She does cake pops, cupcakes, chocolate covered Oreos. So she was going to. She needed a head count though because she was going to in kind, and then I told her we would pay for some.
Okay.
Just because of the expense of the chocolate and stuff like that. So I didn't want her to in kind all of it.
Right.
And she's a very small business, and I coached her in cheerleading many years ago. So it was nice to see her go from this to like this nice young businesswoman. So I reached out to her, and she's more than willing to do some in kind for the desserts for that too as well. And she does a beautiful job.
Cool.
No, you have cake and you have
Cake pops and cupcakes, yes.
no, when is cake?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that's two.
Yes.
That would be great, yeah.
Just keep in mind too, though, if we do a sheet cake, there is a cake cutting and serving fee of $1 per person. It is normally $1.95, but the Spartan is giving us a discount on that as well. So just keep that in mind. No.
I do have a question. It's just random, but when we're doing the checking, we're gonna be sitting like I can sit in tables, and we have everybody come and give your name, and we check you off and everything, right, and tell you where you're going. Okay, want to make sure.
Did we want to do assigned seats? I'm going to sit at their own table, but did we want to do like assigned seating or just let them check in and then go sit themselves?
I think but if you sit yourselves, assigned sitting I think would be more organized because we can tell you where you're sitting. And people are not taking chairs or moving, or one table's full and the other one's empty. So you have 4 people or whatever it is, you tell us who your friends are and we'll have a cutoff date, and that's what it is. I have no problem doing that.
And then you just have a list, and you're at table 10,
You're
you're
at
at table 2,
yeah.
you just have numbers in the middle of the table.
I think it'll be organized.
I mean, obviously, our dignitaries that are around here, we all need to kind of be at the same table probably, but
And they'll be at like table 1.
Yeah, and I think those would be the 10 people tables.
Right.
Yes.
That those would be the biggest that we'll use, and then the other ones we'll just fill them in as they go.
unless they buy a table and they
Right, and then that's different. They buy a table, they don't have to tell us who's coming. Just,
then they
that's
can
your
just figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now these appetizers, is that stuff that's in the hors d'oeuvres or just separate?
That's going to be like the cocktail reception.
Okay.
They'll be set out
That's
for
the
that.
outdoor stuff. Okay.
What's our cutoff time for buying tickets? We have a cutoff date.
She usually needs a week before.
So,
So I'm thinking 2 weeks maybe. If we have to, we could probably sell them same day if we have a lot left over.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we put a date or no? Like on our flyer or something? Do we tell them a date?
We can.
I don't know. Should we?
Yeah, if it's a week forward, it's whatever that.
Yeah.
The week before.
Especially.
So it's May 16th.
So let's say it's
May 1st. Sure.
well, that's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks, right?
Let's just
Do we need 2 weeks or we need
let's do it by Friday the 9th.
May 9th?
For reservations?
For cutoff for buying tickets. Yeah. Okay. Is everybody okay with those choices for the appetizers?
Fried ravioli, gourmet cheese and crackers, Thai meatballs, hummus spread, pita points. Sounds okay to me.
So the other options are chicken drumettes, petite quiche, cocktail franks, sweet and sour meatballs, kielbasi, spanakopita, hand-breaded fish bites, fried calamari, and then the ones that we have listed here.
I kind of like what you got here, actually.
Me too.
Pick something to handle like spanakopita or quiche or something would be easier than the hummus spread. Because the spread, everyone's. Is this out or is this walking around with?
They give you a little plates.
They give you a little
It's all
plate.
days.
And I think she stated that she was going to have like 2 of them walking around,
That's what I'm
like
saying.
2 appetizers, and then the other 2 are
Are going to be out on a table.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I love it.
All good.
Greek salad's good, or does we want Caesar?
Is that the two choices, Greek or
Greek or
Caesar?
Caesar?
What's Greek?
It's got the feta,
Olives and feta.
Kalamata olives, and like a vinaigrette dressing, as opposed to a Caesar salad that has more like a mayo.
I would probably say Caesar would probably be more popular.
I
don't know.
would too. I think.
The only thing my thought was if somebody has a gluten allergy, they put croutons on the Caesar, and that was the only reason why I thought the
Oh,
Greek.
we could do Caesar, no croutons.
Yeah.
Just take croutons off.
Yeah.
You could have, they could have croutons on the side that they could grab if you wanted.
Sure,
Couldn't
we
they?
can make it Caesar. Okay,
And then the beef, you still get mashed potatoes and vegetables, right?
and then there's a vegetarian option, but they just kind of whip that up, so it's probably
Do they
just
give
like
you the option of gravy on the mashed potatoes, or is it come out with?
we can ask.
I don't want gravy. It's
Well,
It's just
chicken marsala comes with
Yeah.
a marsala sauce, so
Yeah.
you would just
So it's like with
and
it.
if it's a roast beef, it's gonna have a sauce too, so you would just
yeah. I just know some people don't like gravy on their potatoes and stuff. So
great. Yeah, they would just take some of that sauce from the
I can't remember how they did. I don't think they did that.
We have to ask them. There's a steak on here, so it might be the steak.
Okay. Then we got, and of course, the vegetarian option would be whatever that is.
Whatever they decide to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then desserts we talked about, and the theme I guess would be the next thing, right?
Mhm. And I provided. I don't know if you. I apologize if you guys talked about this when I had to jump off the last meeting. I provided a list of the top 50 gala ball themes. The ones that I highlighted in yellow were the ones my top 5 pick. I mean, obviously, we are in the vintage era, so I mean, the 20s.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
kind of what
really?
we were
Roaring
thinking was
20s.
the Roaring 20s would be the theme.
Yeah. For decoration purposes, that would be easier.
Black and white.
Yeah. Any objections to the Roaring 20s? Nope. So be it.
Mhm.
I like a nice, easy decision.
Yeah. I know. Well, I wanted to give everybody options because I wasn't sure if anybody had like a
Little
different
feathers.
mindset on any of those. I thought I was kind of leaning towards the diamonds and pearls because 100 years associated with diamonds, so that's kind of where my mind was.
I think Amanda was on that same wavelength. She was already starting to pick out diamonds and pearls that she wanted for that.
I knew I liked her. The favors, obviously, we
I'm
just
sorry, what
need
colors we go to stick with?
roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s.
Black, white, and gold.
Black, white, and gold. Okay.
So basically the same,
Oh, that's good.
what we're doing.
The tree will fit right in.
I'm coming as a tree.
What
Oh,
transporting that
nice.
tree?
That would
Put
look
that
like-
tree over there. I had another tree he didn't work on
That's right.
Well, we're going with
He
those
was
colors.
what is it, the manager
Yeah.
over
The-
here.
in
The
his mind.
inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah, inspiration. That's what you are.
You did the Pinterest. They made it happen.
Okay, so staying unfocused here. So favors.
Favors. What are we thinking? Obviously, that's not a program or an event layout, but just
Just like
something that somebody
table
can
decoration?
take home.
Table decorations. Are we talking about?
That's gonna.
Are you
no,
talking favors for each seat?
favors for each guest, like something that they can take home that's a commemorative of the evening.
Can we have time to research that and then look at it? Just so that it can go with the theme, but it's something that we're
It
gonna
would,
use.
it would
and
be
not-
nice if it had something with our Centennial
Right.
logo on it, whether it be a little are challenge coins. Very expensive.
Like can
I mean, we could. I know I didn't want to do it for a gala, but we could do hand sanitizers with the logo on it. I mean, that that somebody's going to use that, but it's just kind of not right to sit it on the table. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
That would be cute for the business expo.
Yes.
Like hand sanitizer.
I don't know what challenge coins run, but they're. I mean,
Or a Christmas ornament.
That is a great idea, actually. An
I
ornament.
was thinking a Christmas
An
ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is no.
or you could do one of those stemless wine glasses too. I guess.
Right.
And you could put some candy in it or whatever.
Mhm.
stemless wine glass.
Or
Yeah.
wine.
You can buy those from M&M's, they're already.
Just put fill it in wine.
Wine.
Speaking of wine and stuff, did we ever find out with Point Distillery if we're able to do the bottle and
Oh,
those
well,
things?
I did briefly talk to him. He said that because my thought was 100 bottles. He had to do anything that small, so I don't know if that's going to be
How
viable.
much is this?
Well, I don't know. I didn't talk to him, but
Okay.
when he said he couldn't do 100 bottles, I don't know that it'd be. I mean, I can still check. I mean,
Right.
I still intend to do that, but
So do you want to do something like M&M's? They have all different types of glasses and holders and things like that, and you can actually get the M&M's printed on.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to say Port Richey or do whatever, and you can pick your colors, and we can put the stickers on. So that's just a thought.
Good idea too. M&M
okay. We
or something.
for $100 ticket, we ought to put something in their hands that's they're
Yes.
going to keep in their.
Yeah, a little nicer.
And I know-
M&M's obviously would
I'm
not.
just throwing it out.
Sure, no, but something like that.
Something like you can maybe do it in the dessert table or something.
I know
But-
Richie Suncoast did an ornament
I love that.
for something. I don't remember what event it was, but they sold Christmas ornaments, so I can reach out to them and see who did them, so we can get a price on those.
A lot
if
of people
everybody
will use
likes,
that.
yeah.
And that's something that, I mean, you go on vacation, you go to different things, and you get married, you have ornaments.
Mhm.
So people do use that. The shot glass too that you.
I was thinking of something that just wasn't going to be like thrown in a cabinet or donated to
Yeah.
St. Vincent de Paul or
Fancy.
No,
the
ornaments-
Salvation Army.
Ornaments are a great idea.
Or a
That's
fridge
the other
magnet.
thing we buy when we go on
Yeah,
vacation.
fridge
Or
magnet.
a fancy one, a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnet.
Or
I mean,
a
it's
bottle opener. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
But yeah, just look at all those prices.
Did y'all not like the challenge coin? Tom? That-
What is that? I just want to know what it's challenge.
Challenge coin, it's like.
Have you got your challenge coin?
It comes in a little
Go get it.
plastic, or sometimes they have them in like a
Oh,
plastic.
Yeah, it's like a
It's like a
size by a silver
commemorative
dollar.
coin, right? Yeah, it's a commemorative coin, right?
Yeah, it's I mean it's a keepsake.
Not if you work for Pasco County, they're not the size of a silver dollar.
Well, yeah, some of those are relatively large.
Most of them are about like this. They're like,
Yeah, I
in
have
the
one.
military, you would have, it's this size.
Yeah, they're very popular in the military. Different things on it, but on challenge coin, you had two sides of it. You could put the logo on one. On the back side, you could put 100 years and some stuff on it.
Are we gonna have two favors? Is that what we're thinking?
But I like the ornament as well because that's actually something you can hang on a tree.
That's really pretty. We can
And
have
then
two.
you could have a girl and a guy.
Yeah,
If
girl and
it's
a guy.
something feminine and something masculine.
Like an ornament and then the challenge coin out.
So this thing says they're
That
around
would be
$3 to
cool.
$6 per coin.
How many?
Oh, really?
Yeah, $3 to $6.
It just depends upon the size
And
and
your logo and
how many you get.
What would an ornament run on? Did you price any ornaments?
Not yet. I just
Everyone has a Christmas tree.
But even so, you can have that. I mean, you can hang
But
it
that
on
way you're not
anything.
getting two ornaments of the same family. If you had like the females get the
The ornament,
ornament and the guys get the
coin,
challenge coin.
and they can swap, and you have two favors. So you can go.
Was-
That was just my thought. David.
That's my thought too.
No. The only hard thing about that is that you got to buy so many of each. You got to know how many you need of male, how many female, and
Well, no, what you do? No, you don't say it like that. You just say there's 8 to a table, so 4 challenge coins and 4 ornaments. Each table has 4 and 4.
find it out.
Just give
Yeah, they
everybody
find it
all the
out.
same
Let's
thing.
do that.
Yeah, they'll figure it out amongst themselves.
This is an example of a Pasco County challenge coin.
Yes, that's a relatively large one.
Yeah,
Usually it's about the
Yes.
center.
Pass it around.
So I can tell you at the veteran event, and
Usually it's
I don't know what they pay, but every year they give.
like the size of the
It
green
puts that veteran event on. It's the
yeah.
with a base.
That's the one
I can't remember, but every year they give a veteran challenge coin with a year on it.
I believe my boss does these things for us because I have a little one that they give at work and something like you do
Mine
something
says 3
well or
months
anything.
on it.
I can find
Huh?
out the
Mine
pricing
says
on
3
that.
months on
Yeah,
it.
that'd be great.
3 months.
Like
Over.
Oh, jeez.
I wanted like a paperweight, and then we can put the logo
oh,
on.
that's nice.
That's also a good idea.
Now that's more than $6. That's a nice one.
Oh
I
yeah.
know Ron Oakley did some for his campaign, even so. $36 seems like expensive.
Well, and two, like we have to think to get that thing molded in there. We'd have to order them like now, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know what the time frame is on. Anyway, that's an idea. So we do a little research on ornaments and
And paperweights too. That's a good
yeah,
idea.
paperweights. Well, you challenge me is really kind of a paperweight.
Challenge mine as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So those are the
Yeah, this is typical. That's police. Yeah.
Oh,
This
this
is,
is
yeah, this is what I was.
this is
thinking.
very nice.
that's Ryan Oakley's there, I think, isn't it? Yeah. That's Porgy Flip. Well, yeah. Do we do these? These are ours. How much were they?
He needed them. Let's find out. Very
Is this yours?
My desk.
Where'd you get it?
My desk.
How come I didn't get one? That's nice.
Congratulations, you get it.
It's your lucky day.
Yeah, I wonder what they paid for those. Those are nice. So we probably got a vendor already that we've used for those. I imagine. Maybe
Those
they
are
could,
nice.
maybe they'd be willing to give us an in-kind price.
And usually fire hazard too.
I didn't even know I had
They
one.
Okay.
So we can research that
So
and then
yeah, if
come
you guys
back.
can take a look at those options and come back with some prices. I see you got a budget of $1,500 on there, so you take. I guess it was you're doing $10 a person. I figured out. I was
Just because of shipping, and so I wasn't sure how many people we
Yeah, I
were going
don't-
to have, so I just kind of rounded up high.
Gotcha. Okay. And the photography, obviously, have you still reached out to?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be more happy to do that.
Yeah, I know he does a lot of stuff for Rotary.
Yeah,
and
and like I said, he sells his pictures.
Yes.
I think he probably does it for free, and just whatever he sells is what he makes. Entertainment.
So my recommendation would be to have a DJ. And the reason being is when you get a band, you are only limited to what the band can play.
Right, DJ playing that.
Right. The DJ can play a variety of music. They can play stuff from the 20s. They can play stuff that is current. They can be the MC. They provide basically, more. They help organize the event the day of, and keep the flow
And they're probably
moving.
cheaper than a
Yes,
band.
a band is going to be extremely expensive. The other option would be is if we have a DJ and maybe like a one person playing during the cocktail reception, like in that little area that they have.
Yeah, Newport Richie had a band playing when they came in, and then they had a DJ sort of. He didn't play music in the main auditorium. They had live entertainment that they did.
But just for budget purposes and for the fact that there's more of a variety and people are going to want to dance, you don't want to pay $100 and then you're sitting there listening
Right.
to the same music playing over and over
Yeah.
again. They want to be able to get up, move around, have a good time. So my recommendation would be for a DJ, and unless we want to consider the DJ and the one person, but I mean, we could even make a playlist and just have, because I know that the Spartan would allow this, if we had a Bluetooth speaker just set up playing different music from that era in the room, we could probably
You don't
do
have
that
master
as
of
well.
ceremony stuff.
Yep.
Then you don't have a master of ceremony, so kind of almost needed the DJ for that part.
Not out there, not during the,
Not during the
cocktail
cocktail,
reception. Yeah, just inside
Just
is
separate.
where we really need somebody. And that was also on the high end, just because I didn't know where the committee wanted to go.
I'm good with a DJ.
I'm good with the DJ. I also like though that one person like singing or something outside.
Right? It's
You know,
it's
that's
just classy.
different.
It's just
Guitar.
nice.
Yeah.
Can we get
you
that
know.
guy from the fair that's a one-man band? Drums, everything strapped to his back.
Did Amanda just roll her eyes?
How about one of those podcasts?
She has different ideas.
He's really talented, that guy.
She said a lot.
Well, there's
there.
a lot of you go to I can't think of the Bourbon on Main, maybe the one that has the rooftop deck.
The social.
The social.
Yeah,
And
they
they've got like a one person that does like acoustic guitar, and they'll have like they make a little
Yeah.
drum beat in the background, and that would be a little quieter, so because people are trying to talk and mingle and stuff at that point,
We can get a pricing on that.
and that would be cheaper because it's only for like an hour, and then they can go do another gig.
You're right.
Someone
about a guitar.
It'll
Okay.
be early. And
Right, perfect.
Yeah, so that's 6 to 7.
And I don't know if anybody knows anybody that might want the exposure. I know Lisa obviously deals with a lot of
There was a
musicians,
lot of
whatever,
people, yes.
that they could have a tip jar out there, and maybe they wouldn't charge anything to do the cocktail hour, and it gets exposure to their music.
Correct.
The first ask.
Exactly.
Well, I thought you were smiling. 'Cause
She
you
has a
agreed.
lot of music contacts too,
Yeah.
so she
At
probably,
Lisa,
I can
see if
talk to
anybody
Lisa.
might want the exposure that would do it for free with a tip jar, just to get their name out there.
I'm gonna contact a couple also that I met at a farmer's market. They sang really well, and they had like different genres of music. See if they would like to do that because it was just them two.
Yeah, I know
It
that.
was very nice.
I think Cheryl paid like $200 or $250 for, and that was 4 hours
For that gentleman, that was.
for both of them. They did the last 2 times,
Oh yeah.
so it's just a couple $100 for that, and they were good. So
How long would we need them for? How long is cocktail? Well,
Probably
an hour.
at least an hour, right?
well, 5:30. If we open at 5:30 for check-in,
Yeah.
you'd have 5:30 to probably
Seven.
6:30 or 7.
6:30,
Yeah, hour and a half.
7.
Hour and a half.
And they gotta set up time.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we have kind of a ballpark budget at this point? You wait till next week.
Until we know, I mean, I estimated $9,500 based on what I had put on this agenda item.
But you said most of it would cover ticket costs, right?
Yes. But I wasn't sure, like I said, with the favors, I'm not really sure because I don't know if we're gonna have to pay shipping on that stuff.
Right.
If they're, obviously the city is tax exempt, but some of the stuff that you get online, if they don't take the tax exempt, I mean, I had to like take that into consideration. So I just like, my estimates were higher.
Yeah.
And then we added some, I had accounted you adding people
Did
too.
you have a guess on what it would be, not including tickets? What actual our cost would be?
So our cost would be the favors if we had to pay for the photographer, the entertainment, so 2,800, the 500, and then whatever we're going to pay for the guests that we're inviting, that we're comping. So originally we added some people. So originally it was,
Yeah, we had $50 a person.
yes,
Was that with beef? That was with chicken.
that was just the chicken.
So we could be at $60 a person.
Mm-hmm.
They figure on the high side.
So just council and a guest alone is 2,100. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up.
$2,100.
Hang on. For just the guests before we even invited the extra, it was 2,100. I'm sorry.
For food?
So everybody 2,100.
Yes. With yeah. So that's because I included Ocean. So
Right. So $5,000, $6,000.
roughly, yes.
I know, like 14,000.
Why don't you put 6? Any objection to 6? That probably cover everything.
But they don't. We're just.
Oh, and
Just
decorations.
picking around the team member.
Is that enough?
Can you make it 7 just so we can cover the cost of like decorations?
7.
too?
All right.
Please.
Any objection to 7? Okay.
Like I said, I just estimated high just because I wasn't sure of like the cost.
Right. And I'll see the more people we get
It'll
that eat into that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from Mayor's Ball?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
What, who's gonna be,
Microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, microphone.
what's,
do we have an agenda or an order of what, if someone's gonna be speaking, what presentations are
Well,
gonna be
Well, yeah, we will
happening?
put that together. You don't need that for the invitation.
No, but you just said anything else, so I'm just
Yeah,
asking
so
the question.
I think once we
program.
get that out, we'll put the program together.
Program, that is the word
Yeah.
I was looking
We'll
for,
probably
yes,
have to have
thank
a
you.
separate meeting on that once we get some more things solidified.
Do you need to, print a program?
Yes.
Definitely, we'll have
Okay.
that. Did you have any? Did you have
Yeah.
that cost kind of figured in there?
No, I did not.
Yeah, we could probably print that. Well, if it's gonna be a
And
booklet, I
this,
guess.
Well, if I can,
Yeah, that's what they did. They had it was a
Remember
booklet.
the program you handed out last
Yeah.
week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then my
exactly.
idea for the program is having it,
I mean, this is just printed.
yeah,
Smaller
having it a
with a
little,
worksheet.
yeah, like a
Smaller.
little booklet type of thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe, I don't know, we can sell sheets to sponsorships or something, or someone wants to put a message to someone, anything like that.
Yeah,
To
in the program.
offset,
Yeah.
to do something, or they want
Yeah,
to
that's
put their
what it-
names or a picture or something to commemorate that they're there in the program. I don't know.
There's a bunch of ads.
Right,
and stuff,
exactly,
yes.
ads and stuff.
Yeah, but and
With
that
what's
pays
going
for
on.
that'll pay for the.
Like, what is it? They're called playbills, that they do that as well in a playbill and things like that.
because some DJs include a photo.
And we can maybe reach out to
when I
Yeah.
Richie
check about the
Suncoast Theater
entertainment,
to
I'm
see
gonna
who
see
does
if they-
theirs.
If they
I
also
can
have
do
a
that.
photo
I can
Okay.
reach out to them.
There's a lot of people who like
Yep.
doing that.
We have a printing company that we use for our newsletters and stuff like that. That we can.
They try to do little playbills.
They do the index cards. It's the same company that did the cards for our survey. Do you remember the Cody River Landing?
Yes.
So we did same kind of cards like that. So we can reach out to them.
Do they do little booklets though?
Yeah, they do both books,
Okay.
like the newsletter, the hurricane newsletter,
Okay.
stuff like that. So they basically will take anything we send them. So
Can I have their info too for the business expense stuff?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else on Mayor's Ball?
Oh, the only other thing is like point of contact. Do we want who really needs to be the point of contact, just so we can eliminate multiple people like contacting the Spartan Manor or other people?
Well, for questions about the Mayor's Ball and,
Mhm.
and whatnot. Probably what
One of
either
you. I
One
think
of
that's
one of
right.
you guys, you.
It's up to you.
It doesn't
Or you
matter.
want
I mean,
it.
I'm fine doing it, or if they want to go through Ashley and Ashley pushes them to us, that's fine too.
Whatever
I
y'all
think
think.
we should split it in the sense of who's going to be in contact with Spartan Manor, and then the vendors, and like, so you can do Spartan Manor. I don't mind.
Okay.
And then I can do the rest of the vendors and the. I mean, we'll work on it together, but
Yeah, of
you'll
course.
be the
Of
point
course.
of contact for Spartan Manor, which will be
Okay.
great for me.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah, that's fine.
I play email tag with her all the time. I don't like that.
I know. I just was like, I don't want to be like going behind anybody.
Yeah,
either,
no.
And then it looks like I'm like overstepping. So I just wanted to make sure that we,
Not at all.
to clarify who was going to do what. That's all.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You can take Spartan Manor, and then
Okay.
I'll do the rest of the.
Okay.
And then we'll
And
figure out.
obviously we'll share. I mean, I'm not going to. Yeah.
At least it's good that we're both working on it. That it's not like people are just la 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 and not doing anything.
Exactly.
Just some?
I was gonna ask if we could have ticket information by field day, so, we can have that available to start, selling tickets.
We got ticket information today. We just
Yeah,
sent it
I
out
just
Friday.
have to do a draft mock-up on it, and then you guys can have it for next week. to
So
take a
by
look
next
at.
week we should be able to prove
Yep.
that and put that out.
I'll do a draft mock-up.
And really, we're not giving them tickets. We're just selling it, and we're just talking. So we can do it anywhere. We can
Yeah,
sell
exactly.
it anywhere.
Do we not want?
Do we want to do
I mean-
tickets? That's
Do we want to print some tickets? I mean, we'd have to see what the cost is. I can do the layout and then give it to the print company if they can print and cut them.
it'd be nice to have an actual ticket to
But-
commemorate.
Could
You
we?
have to bring it somewhere.
Yeah. Could we actually do the? This is just my idea because. Well, we can have a day that they can come pick up tickets, and then if not, we can give them the actual ticket, like a will call.
Yeah, the actual
Okay.
ticket would be a will call.
That would be nice. A ticket. I was just thinking
Like
of
a
like
will call.
for them to pay and we give a ticket, so we'll just do that. Like pay it here, and then we can have a day so they can come
Like
pick
his
it up.
invitations would include
Yeah, we can
yes.
send out the
in it.
tickets.
Yes.
That would be nice.
His would include a ticket in there, and then they would bring you guys.
or as they show and sign in, we give them the commemorative.
That's what
ticket.
Carolyn was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a roll call type of thing.
Because that might be something they want to keep too.
Yeah, exactly.
As a
Yes,
keepsake.
that would be nice.
And that should go in the
that can go in the thing.
In the time capsule.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The thing, we should call it that. The thing.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Item number 3, selection of Centennial T-shirt order. Sal, I'll pass that to you.
Okay. Since the agenda has been made, the concept. I mean there's several things that need to be added as far as sponsorships and stuff like that. So I don't really want to concern ourselves with the writing because a lot of that's going to change, especially the events now. I got to change some of the dates. I did send them Vesh's logo, Hidden Creek Golf Carts logo, and Edison Private Schools logo. They all have those now. So they are currently putting the proof together to have all 15 sponsors on there. I've instructed them to shrink the size of the wording thanks to our sponsors. I think that's a little too large.
Yeah.
They're going to shrink that down a couple of font sizes. I'm thinking of taking the words Centennial event list out and just have the months and dates on there.
Yeah.
And then obviously our council and committee members. So my main concern today is just getting what color scheme that we want. So then I can just go forward with the.
Say that one thing. So you're going to take off the event list?
No,
Just the wording. Centennial event list.
I don't know. I think we should take it off just in case.
Yeah, I will.
Wait, take which off? The
Take
words?
the event list off altogether.
No, well, my opinion is, like I said, as far as a memento and commemorative type of thing, I think having the dates and events on there is important for keepsake. I mean, most concert shirts or event shirts have dates, times on them. I'm for keeping them. I was just taking those 3 words off, and just having February, March, April, May, and then the list of events and dates, just to have a little more room for our sponsors. But I mean, I personally like the idea of having the events and dates on there. Like I said, this shirt is not only just a T-shirt to wear during an event, but also, to remember down the road, and also throwing one into our time capsule. Maybe thinking of throwing one in there if we want, or putting one out there, reverse and back in our display case or something like that. Because it's 100 years. It's not going to happen again for another 100. So just to give an idea.
The only thing I can't imagine we would be changing the dates past today. As a matter of fact, I was surprised we changed. I kind of anticipated the golf possibly. I didn't anticipate the Vesh, but I don't think we're going to have any more date changes. The only thing we might have is a cancellation.
Cancel.
I think
still worked on all these events though.
Yeah, I think from the shirt aspect, if we did have to cancel an event, at least it was scheduled to happen, and it was a lack of participation, but we didn't schedule it. So I think
at the very least it shows what we're trying to do. It also shows, what Port Richey is trying to do for this, and it's marking that. It's saying, look, we tried to do 15 events, and go forward with that. Adam, what do you got? What's your thoughts there? You got a thought?
I agree with.
Or you just thought that?
Yeah, no, I was
okay.
reading something on my phone. Crazy. Sorry.
Did Matt send you a message that was funny?
No, he don't talk to me other than in his office.
What's the determination of the sponsors? Because are the in-kind sponsors on there as well?
We were gonna put all 15 on the shirt.
Yeah.
The in-kind as well?
In-kind, everybody on the shirt.
Okay, because no one's mentioned the ones that I just gave you. Tampa Bay Watch.
They're on the new concept.
This is old.
This is old.
No,
this is old.
I understand. I'm just asking.
Every sponsor will be on there.
Tampa Bay Watch has also been sent to them. Yes.
Okay.
Every single one of them.
Because I'm looking at the sponsorship level and nothing here, like even for the $100 people, it just says recognition on the city's social media. It doesn't say anything about being on their shirt. So I'm just wondering how much clutter we want to have on the back with list of events, list of committee members, and then all of these 15 sponsors. But if you can fit it all in, then that would probably be great.
Or maybe just get rid of the months and have the events listed with the date next to them.
So I was going to actually speak to that. So you've got the events and the months and the dates on their side. If you put two columns, so you have February, March on one side, April, May on the right side, and just put the maybe put the date underneath the event, and leave off the months.
Well, also, I noticed they're up here, it's hard to see it, but they appear to be
This is
full
he's
length.
gonna take off.
Like instead of having
Altogether.
opening day celebrations in each local government camp capsule, just have opening day celebrations.
You
Like,
should be able to zoom in. Well, they just basically took this proof
right.
from our event
Yeah.
list.
But
So
that's what I was just suggesting.
Maybe think about the naming on there, because obviously we're trying to describe a little bit more than what we'd need on the shirt, like opening day celebration.
Right.
You would need to put all their stuff in there necessarily.
Like History and Heritage Day includes a tour, so we don't really need to have a tour.
So yeah, I
Just
can
summarize the events the best you
I
can.
could summarize the events. Yes.
I would box the events to kind of break it up a little bit, because it looks like it's just like one big glob of text.
Box them.
I think by shortening
Like
it,
put a
Well,
box
events.
around to like break it
Oh,
up.
put a box of all the events are in a. Yeah, you could outline them.
So it's not just one blob of text.
Yeah.
I think shortening
This
will
is
help
this
that
is
too.
really good input, but I like to really get down to which shirt and what color.
I like the white.
Blue.
I mean, I feel like it looks great with the white shirt, but I know white gets dirty. But I just like the white. That logo really pops on the white, and then the blue on the back is really nice.
Do we have to pick only one, or can we do two?
We were going to pick one.
You can
Just
pick as
one
many as you want. It just becomes
Because I
more choice than you see.
I like the
You get more extras left over.
If you only have one color, if you want a shirt, you buy the shirt.
okay.
If you want, if it comes down to color, then we got to figure out. We got to order so many blue, so many white. We have blue left over because
I like
everybody
the
likes
blues.
white. It's just
I think so too.
I like the heather though.
Did the
I did.
navy heather?
I
Is
like the heather also.
the one that we picked, the navy heather blue. Is that just it's just showing up lighter?
yeah. Is that the same blue we looked at before?
That's
Is that
not the blue that we picked.
There's,
But I don't know if it's just showing up lighter on the
No,
screen.
I think the heather blue is the fourth one.
That's a heather gray. I think.
Yeah, that's a darker gray.
That's a
I
dark
think.
gray. But did you get the
I
one that
think
has
she-
the heather blue?
I don't think she
I
gave
think
us the blue
I
we
think I
picked.
emailed.
Yeah, she did.
Can you check? Do you have access to pull up your email? Because I think they sent us the heather blue,
Yeah, this
Who's it
is-
from?
That's the-
and maybe we could pull that up on the.
You sent it to me.
No, I thought that like we forwarded Ashley or myself forwarded.
I don't
it.
remember seeing anything.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
This one in the white.
Can I make a motion?
I don't know if it,
If it was the darker blue, I'd like it.
what
The
you.
white one. I think everything's the logo pops on the white one.
You can do that if you like.
No, the white one. Okay, I'm gonna go.
So-
Make a motion for the
This
white one.
other one is nice
The
too.
heather
though.
one is nice, and the blue one.
Well, I got a motion for the white. Is there a
Well,
second?
that's because those two colors were pretty much the most popular when we were discussing,
Right.
which is why we picked a dark heather blue, which is just not on here. And I don't see that email because I did look. I
There's a
did not
motion on the table.
Yeah. So procedurally, there is a motion for a white. Is there a second?
If you want me to see if I can pull up the heather blue, I'd have to go to my computer. If you
Okay.
want, if you,
Listen, I'm gonna tear something up if we pick white anyway. All right, we did this once before.
So it sounds like the motion for white dies without a second.
It's, yeah.
That doesn't mean it might not be resurrected once people are paying attention.
Can you share your screen so we can look at
What are we looking at?
the shirts?
Okay, so let me share.
With the agenda packet.
That's in the agenda packet. Okay.
Yes.
I don't like this.
Adam, it was a no-go.
At all.
Well, so was the logo. We still picked it.
I feel like the.
Okay. So if you could put my screen up there, I'm sharing.
I do like the white, and then I like this dark. This one.
Yeah.
This one.
But now I can't keep it.
That you just said. Good job.
Okay, I'm gonna put them on the screen.
Because we had picked this heather blue.
I'd be in the hospital.
So
Yeah,
that's what
we don't have a
liked.
picture of that one.
Right, which is what we had picked during the meeting, but This was the original color from the original email, but they didn't
Yes.
switch it to the heather blue. That's what I was finding.
So here's the white.
And then the
Heather
last
navy.
one, I like the last one.
There's the blue that was there. I think the blue we picked was darker than this.
It's heather navy. Yes.
So imagine this much darker blue. This is a lighter gray, which I don't know why we got that, but
That was supposed to be that sport gray, and I did.
well, no, that sport gray was darker. This is
She told me that was the sport gray when I asked her. I asked her about that one. She said that's the sport gray. It's just the digital color is a little off than the original.
This one I like. I feel like it looks less than the last one.
I like that one too.
Is this supposed to be blue?
No, that's
Isn't
the
that
heather
gray?
gray that we picked also.
Heather blue or heather gray?
No, we
No, we
picked
picked
both.
both.
Those were the two most popular ones that we liked was the heather gray or heather blue.
Heather navy, sport gray, and off-white with navy leather.
The white one is not off white, is it? It's just white.
Because
It's
this,
supposed to be
to
off-white.
me, now up on that screen, it has a little blue tint to it, but on my screen, it's gray.
It's definitely gray. Yeah,
I do like this though.
I like that one too.
but the heather navy was the one that we all.
I think we're in the same spot as last week.
That's the one that we were all talking about.
Heather gray.
Heather navy.
Navy,
Well,
I'm sorry.
maybe that's charcoal.
That was the one.
We didn't pick charcoal.
Now, what color is that?
See, I think that's the heather blue because it looks blue to me.
It's not blue.
No, it's not blue.
On that screen, it does look a little more, but if you look on it on the screen, it's definitely not blue at all. It's
It,
just heather.
it would have been nice if she would have put the color on what it was.
It's supposed to be heather navy.
Correct, which is essentially this color. It's the one that we from the handout last week.
Let me see. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Lettering on the back.
Yeah.
No, it really looks nice with the
But
white.
even
on
when
the
you go
back.
from this to
The
this,
dark
this
gray?
is a little
I
lighter,
mean, yeah.
which is why the other one turned out lighter.
Right?
I like that one too.
Yeah. The last one.
In blue.
Heather navy. Yeah,
Which is the navy one?
that last one is
That
heather
is heather
navy.
navy.
You're right.
Oh, this. No, I'm sorry. Heather
Yeah.
gray.
Where's the-
I make a
Heather
motion.
gray is the one on
Can I
the
make a
screen.
motion?
For the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: whether it's blue or dark gray, I think either one when it comes out is going to look fine. But this one's gray, which I'd be fine with. I think if it was if this way of blue, it would be
Having a
fine
little
too. I think.
color would be
Actually,
nice.
applied blue would be a smidge better. I think.
This one, heather
Last
navy.
one.
Heather navy.
Well, if that's what it is, I still maintain it's gray. But
That one.
No, that is heather gray. That one on the screen is heather gray.
we could be colorblind, some of us. So,
It all depends on the screen that it's on. It really does.
I look nice in blue.
Because on
Now
these
you're for
screens,
blue?
it looks completely gray.
Now you're for blue?
No, I'm not voting on anything. I'm naming everything.
Want me to make a motion?
That's a blue
yeah,
shirt.
that sure look like.
Actually, Sal made a motion
Oh,
too.
Sal made a motion.
Yeah, that
Tried
does look
to.
blue on this one.
Yeah, but this one it looks totally gray.
For a while.
This is definitely totally gray on ours.
Kind of interesting, the same pages.
It looks different, right?
Yeah.
On the monitors.
I'm going to assume this is the blue she gave us.
I think
It's the gray.
I think this is because I mean I got it at 500% and it looks pretty blue to me.
This is
I
heather
make-
navy, I believe.
I think this is heather
Well-
gray.
And then the other one.
I'm making a
It's
motion
definitely gray on my
All right, so
Yeah, yours.
for that shirt.
This shirt,
That
whatever
right there.
color it may be.
Yeah.
whatever color is the darker version.
So that's the one we like.
Are we good with this?
If it's blue,
Yes. Exactly.
What if it's gray?
I like the gray.
But looks.
I think it's. Well, let's specify that. What's the color?
Heather navy.
Heather navy. Just tell her
What-
Heather navy.
What I will do is I'm with them working on the final proof and then the other information that you gave me. I will have them say that I want Heather navy, and if there's a Heather blue, I don't remember what
No.
color.
No, Heather navy. Just Heather navy.
I got the list.
we want Heather navy as the final shirt with the white lettering,
Correct.
with all the changes we have. Summarize the events a little more, box outline. You know, I'll make all those changes with all our sponsors, and I'll email that out to everyone. I should have that by
Just-
tomorrow.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Do Well, I made a motion. I don't have to.
Janet seconded it, all right, yeah, I seconded it.
Okay. I have Sal motion, Janet second. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries with one nay.
How are you gonna order sizes?
The company will
I'm
tell
gonna.
them what's
I'm going to
best.
talk to her about what they normally do. As far as sizes are concerned, I really don't know, but I'll just tell her, what are the normal amount of, smalls to
Right.
extra. I guess 2X will go. 2X,
Probably 3X.
right? Okay.
Well, do they have the ability to, as we take orders, if we have the shirt, we can just,
Yeah, I mean we could do that too.
if we have them print some, maybe one of each size. We have initial run of 500, but if we print one of each size or whatever, and then we take them to the events and people can order them, we can. That way we don't have to. I don't want to end up with a bunch of extra shirts.
Have all these shirts left over.
Yeah.
I always think small is the shirt that's always around. I've always noticed that
It's way too many of them.
I
small.
mean, large is probably going to
Yeah.
be
I think
cover most.
I think
Large and extra large, most likely.
Yeah.
I think the smallest size we should do is medium, and up.
Well,
So-
little kids, we need a couple smalls.
Yeah, kids.
Kids need small.
So we'll do smalls, but then be in the smallest order, the smallest size and the smallest order of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
The least amount of.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll order small, but it won't be like if we do 50 of each or 25 of each, we'll do 10 or 15 of small.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And what are we selling them for?
Well, what's the lead time on getting these off? If we do a smaller and we sell them out, we just turn around. I mean, kind of
We should
gauge
do
it.
them in a week, and we can get more in a week.
Yeah,
Well, the first order, like I said, they're in-kinding 500 for the first order. So we're going to see the most return from the first order of shirts. So,
That might be all we
and then
need.
after that, we'll probably have to, either up the price of the shirts because right now we're looking at only about $3 to $4.50 our cost for the
we're
shirts.
selling for 10, 15. When we sell.
Yeah. But then our second order,
10, 12.
we're not going to get that. We're not going to get
So how
that
much are
second
we
round
selling
in
them
kind.
for, Ted?
So
How much are we selling them for?
we'll have to all agree on that.
Yeah, shirt costs 10, 15.
10.
10.
Because they're only going to be $8 after the incline.
Yes.
Well, what's the cost what does the cost per shirt normally?
The in-kind, so what is it after? It was regularly 8, right?
Well, and I think 10 is low.
You think
Yeah, I think so. 15.
15?
And we've got other stuff we can be spending money on too.
Yeah.
So we can,
So $15.
and then if we have any left over, that'll help cover them.
How much are we putting in there? So like we
We don't have anything for that in kind. That's good
or just the $500 in kind. We're not adding anything to it.
for now.
Unless we sell out and then have to buy more.
Okay. Anything else on the shirts?
Nope.
We got to hurry here because I'm about to go. Last item is subcommittee event updates, which we kind of already had that, I guess, right?
We'll be on Saturday.
Tour.
For the History and Heritage Day. So please come if you can. We will be here from 11 to 4 o'clock. Definitely Kim and I. And Adam, hopefully. Right? Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
Saturday?
You'll be here?
Don't forget it's Saturday, Adam.
I leave when it's time to clean up though,
Oh, all right.
but I'll be here.
There'll be snacks.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Not
Send
like
out
it was an
more-
opening
send
day,
out
but it'll
more-
be.
More press information.
We'll do that.
I gotta go to the bowling alley.
Yeah, Matt, we gotta really vet our resumes a little better for finance director.
I have no problem.
Did you guys talk about the postcard thing, or did I miss that? Did you bring up the postcard thing?
So last night, I know Councilwoman Rodriguez brought up about sending out postcards.
Oh yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
So I did reach out to the printer. If you give me a moment, I don't think I brought the price with me.
Is it $665?
Oh, actually, I did forward it to you.
I want. Was it about $1,000 to send out for the vision?
Well, it's going to cost X amount to print and then X amount to.
Yeah. EDDM. Because we just did it for the survey.
Oh, $665 plus postage.
It was a 4 something for postage.
Yeah. So it's going to be about
$1,000 bucks.
1,000. Now, that will go out to every city resident if we want to do that, but it's going to be $1,000 to do that. I am also working on a couple of other things for the Business Expo. I was going to use the same email list that we did for the packet. See if you get any more responses from that. So that'll be as many city businesses as I can.
When's the next water bill go out?
15.
Oh, and we don't. Well, some of them are emails. Most of them are emails now, anyway, right? So that's
We could talk. Well, we won't be able to do it on this bill. The March bill, we can do it for, but that's going to be March 15th. So
yeah, we can put a note in there. We can add a note to
Yeah.
the bill saying, "Hey, Centennial celebration at
With a
park."
list of events or something.
Yeah.
but that's not till March.
Yeah.
It's in the website.
Yeah, with the
Well, it's not. It's got to be pretty. Like I don't think we put all on there. It's got to be a pretty.
No,
Can
just
you
say-
just direct them to the Centennial page with a
maybe a
list?
QR code that goes straight to the Centennial page
Yeah,
on the
we can do
website
Yeah.
that has everything.
There's not a whole lot of room to put.
Right.
A lot of big. Like we could put all that on there.
But that won't be till March 15th because this billing cycle just happened. I'm trying to get more residents to sign up to mass communication, so we're working on that as well. So
Did you check on to see if we can pull over from our utility
that's what I'm talking
contact
about.
thing? Yeah.
He's confirming that.
Okay.
So
The only
We're-
thing with the postcards is I feel like people won't look at it. It's going to get tossed in either recycling or the junk mail.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's what I
understand
agree.
what she was saying, but to me, I just feel like it's just, and then we have so many residents that aren't even in their homes right now because of the storms.
Mhm.
So are they even going to get the mail? That's, that's
Yeah.
the
and just to
I
let you
agree.
know, when those go out, they go in that same mailing package that we all get with the flyers from different
Mhm.
places and some of the other businesses that do that. That's the day when that will come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
not-
pile where 90% of it goes either in the trash or in the recycling.
I-
So that they won't send it on a separate day.
Yeah.
It will go in that same pile of mail that comes to all of us.
I don't think that's.
I can tell you that from experience, obviously, 'cause I've ran for election twice, and I've sent out 6 mailers for each election. And for the first election, I really focused on voter turnout, letting people know about that, and I did not seem to move the needle. It was still that same 400 some that vote. So I don't know how effective they actually are. I mean, there might be a couple people, but it's not going to for the money.
I don't think it's
I don't think
I
you're
don't
really
think
going
it's a good idea either.
you're not going to gain $1,000, and I did myself, so it was like 600.
So we get from those bills, we probably get about 150, maybe a little bit more of return mail to us.
Yeah.
Comes back to us. So.
So, well, EDM would do just deliver it; it wouldn't come back. If you address it, it's
That's
more expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's just every door, and a lot of people obviously still not in their homes, and so there's all that. So I don't know if it's worth the cost, to be honest.
Do we still have bulletin boards in the parks? I know Waterfront does, but does any
Yes,
any
Nick's
other park
park.
have them?
Yes, Nick's, and I was gonna ask about putting the fishing tournament flyers there, because those are looks like nobody's been there for about 100 years.
Well, if there was instead of spending the money on the mailer, if there's anything that we can consider, if unfortunately, if we had more volunteers, we can send them out to some of the trailer park clubhouses, Sand Pebbles Clubhouse,
Over
the
at
park,
Trey Park.
the parks,
Just ask
the
them
trailer
to post
parks.
it. Yeah.
Post them in their clubhouses, post them in some of their boards. I mean, that's a more effective way of getting
Yeah. You'll
something
definitely
out,
get a lot more from that.
than doing the mailer. But that's something we can consider.
I'd consider doing that tomorrow.
Posters around to the businesses, things like that.
Yes.
Event list, front and back. That's something that we can, you'll get more traction doing boots on the ground than just sending a mailer out.
Can we put flyers up in
Walmart.
Nick's park?
Huh?
The bulletin board at Nick's
Yeah,
park?
absolutely. We'll
Take
start,
that
and actually, I will.
from, like,
I will print copies and give them to Public Works tomorrow.
Okay. And I think the utility bill notice is a good idea too.
Yeah.
Just to know on the utility bill, that will go out to both in city and our residents outside city. But that's going to go out to both.
If we get obviously, if we can get the Suncoast News obviously has their events around or whatever, and Tampa Bay Times if we get it in there.
She was Pat Morris was here for the opening day. I already emailed her information.
Okay.
On the event list. I'll have to update it now to let her know. But I gave her the event list and some of the flyers that we had at that time. So, but I told her I would be sending her more information. So I'll send that.
I want to say there's a couple. If you Google things to do in Tampa Bay or things to do, there's a couple places that put events. I don't know if Eventbrite
Eventbrite, yeah.
does that, but there's if we can somehow get out of those calendars.
Well, there's
Like
also like if you, I know we posted on our Facebook page, but is it posted on Facebook events?
Yes, we
made-
There's events for
Because I have
all
been able
the
to find it.
February right now. I have to fix them at Business Expo though, but there's all the February events are posted.
If I was going to say, I noticed the chamber hasn't really forwarded any of our information. If they can forward it out as well, chamber.
Well, we put it on there.
Post,
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
and
that's true.
I don't know if we can, you could talk to Member Taylor about on her site and or whatever, whatever points she has, also getting it out that way.
Mhm.
That would be really helpful. But we've made it events. We've posted it to every City of Port Richey related, Facebook
Mhm.
page. They've
And
all,
others.
they've all
others.
seen
I have it on Trinity Chat, the Hub,
Yeah.
Newport Richie Chat. I mean, I've been putting it out there.
so people have seen it.
Yeah, it's tough to get engagement
So
for sure. Okay, well, we'll continue to push the information out there, and hopefully,
How are we gonna get to the trailer parks?
you just drop flyers off of their office.
Oh, someone to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
someone will
that.
have to do that.
Okay. Anything else? We'll move on to old business. Any old business? Okay. If not, look for a motion.
Motion adjourned.
I got Kim and I got
Second.
second from you. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
You log in, make sure you log out. That's down there. I was curious where it came from. Like they have those Agatha Christie murder mystery type of things. Well, we do our program, yeah. Probably find a few help you with that. No, that is deep. I like it. We'll work on it. All right, I gotta go. I got a bowl. Thank you all. See ya.
Bye. Have a nice evening.
You too. Yep, thank you.